Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sulk stream. I hope you guys had a fantastic day, or whatever happens to what day it happens to be. It's a Tuesday, I'm pretty sure. I'm very good at the calendar. It's a skill I have. Tonight we're talking about boomer hate, as we do often, but from a different angle, from a more defensive point of view. Could it be a Psyop, a scheme? Some sort of private equity firm engineering intergenerational conflict over decades in order to attain Social Security, or the savings that Social Security would go through. It's a theory. I'm not saying I believe it. Seems a little bit flimsy to me, but we are going to discuss it. We're going to watch a guy's video about it, and I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think I agree. It is possible that it is true. I don't think that's the main cause. I don't think that is the main drift of what we're all going through. So it should be an interesting episode, and you know how the Sulk stream goes. We will go whatever direction my heart fancies, my heart desires, because that's how I do it. That's how I do my show, and nobody can tell me otherwise. So, get comfy, get cozy, grab yourself a nice bottle of Jergens. I don't care if you're jerking off the entire time. I don't give a shit. If you're working, keep working because you have to, especially if you're Gen Z or Millennial or something like that. You're never gonna leave. You are in chains, boy. You think you're gonna afford a place to live? No, you're just a wagey. You're a slave. And if you're driving, drive home safely. I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is a Sulk stream, and this is called Why Private Equity Needs You to Hate Boomers. Enjoy.
For you to do. Even with all that said, did the boomers breach this social contract between generations?
I can explain. In that video, I showed how.
Start at the beginning here. Okay.
Take a look at these videos about boomers.
Sometimes I do that.
Why did the
just to make sure where we are?
richest generation in history sell out the nation's future?
Lazy, entitled, stupid, selfish, dumb, crazy, lost, and on and on and on.
The baby boomers, whiny, narcissistic.
Big P says the Sulk stream is 62% not a Psyop. I don't know where you're getting that number. It is 100% a Psyop.
Self-indulgent people with a simple philosophy.
Obviously, can you not tell that this show is government funded? Can you not tell that this is a high tier state funded operation? Of course.
Give me it, it's mine. Give me that.
I'm part of the CIA because they accept people like me.
It's mine.
If you agree with that message, congratulations.
I could be a Fed. I legitimately could be a Fed. I mean, I think I would be good at it. I mean, in certain aspects, I'd be good at it. I'd be pissed when anybody told me to do something, though. I'd be upset about that. I'd be like, why? Who the fuck are you? Oh, I'm the guy paying you. Right. I don't know how I would do in boot camp. I'd probably do fine. I'd be all right. I'd do okay. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Please do not come to me and be like, we need a man on the inside, because I'm not on the inside. You're barking up the wrong tree, man. I am not, like, it's not even that I wouldn't be interested in helping you. It's just I am incapable of doing so. I'm flattered, but you got some bad intel.
You did exactly what a private equity billionaire paid for you to do.
Even with all that said, did the boomers breach this social contract between
hold on.
generations?
I can explain. In that video, I showed how billionaires hold half the wealth in this country and how our generation seems worse off by
David P says no, boomers are actually terrible. Well, let them lay it out. All right, everybody's jumping the gun a little bit. Let them lay it out.
almost every measure. And that's true, right?
But yeah, you're right.
Well, I later found out that this hate that we all feel was carefully manufactured. Because in 1983, two people figured out a 3-step playbook for how to make money from your anger. And one billionaire private equity
I don't care if they raise the draft age. I'm not going to be here.
founders spent the next 40 years and $458 million.
You think if there's even a whiff of a draft, I'm going to hang out and see, well, maybe there won't be. No, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm going to be in Thailand on some weird beach. I'll be fine.
Running
I'll be one of the lady boys.
that playbook, building one
That's not even necessary. That extra comment was not even necessary for me to say.
fake organization after another, each one targeting
Could have just said I'd be on the beach, but no, now I'm like, now I got fake tits in Bangkok and just strolling the streets and stuff. I would make a terrible woman. I'm not androgynous enough.
whichever generation was youngest. But why? Why would he spend all this time and money? Well, it's because your anger is the only thing standing between private equity and a $940 billion payday. And now, the crisis that they've been patiently waiting for to execute their plan is only 6 years away. So I fall
$940 billion. Okay, his idea is that they've been working on this for 40 years and it's only 6 years away for a healthy, nearly $1 trillion payout. However, I'm like, couldn't they make $1 trillion in 40 years doing literally anything else?
all the money over the last 40
Like so many other things.
years and mapped out every organization, campaign,
And have done.
and dollar that went into making you hate your grandma. And what I found is the real cost that everyone else has missed. Because as long as this generational war keeps you distracted, private equity walks away with the biggest payday in American history.
Okay, I'm gonna lay out what he says for now. I'm gonna let it go.
To understand why they want you to hate boomers, I need to show you the problem they were trying to solve in the first place.
I'm doing fine.
And I'll do it by
Black Man?
playing the strategist that was hired to pull all of this off. Because once you see how this playbook works step by step, you'll understand why every okay boomer meme, every viral rant, every headline pitting young against old is doing exactly what someone paid for it to do. So like I said,
Nobody pays me. Nobody is. Look, I understand I wouldn't be the one to. I understand how they do psyops and stuff like that. They're not literally paying everybody. They're just paying like key players to push conversations and push opinions out there. I understand that. So even if I agreed with it, they wouldn't pay me for that. I understand. However, the entire thing rests on like you need to get people to hate boomers so that private equity, instead of Social Security being fed through the government, which everybody hates already because it's a dying program and we're not going to receive anyway. Instead, people will have to save their own money and then feed it in through private equity firms. And then they are going to get commissions off of that. So that they're trying to get rid of Social Security so people save their money and invest in private equity. And that's why they made everybody hate the boomers. It seems flimsy. And you know, it could be accurate, but I even if it was, there's so many other reasons to hate the boomers. There are so many other reasons to hate the boomers. It's not just like, the rich are robbing the young with Social Security payments, because that's been happening forever. That has been going on for a very long time. But if we get rid of Social Security, we weren't going to get it anyway. It was going to run out in 2033. We were not going to receive a dime of that anyway. So why wouldn't you just be like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Why are you paying into something that you're never going to receive anything out of? But no, they're like, let's make them hate the boomers. I don't understand. That seems like there's so many extra steps involved. Because you could have just waited and been like, yeah, see, it doesn't work. And everyone would be like, hey, yeah, that makes sense. There's no reason to hate boomers. But there's many reasons to hate that generation. And I'm not going to say all of them. You know how I say it. I talk in generalities.
I said the guy who hires me is this big billionaire. A billionaire who...
Big B says, I hate boomers for the creation of credit scores. They already own their homes. Yeah. The credit scores weren't a thing till 1989. When they already bought their homes. All the boomers by then had bought their homes. For the most part. Right? Their first homes at least. But after that, a credit score wasn't really necessary. So, because you just sell your old house and then buy a new one. So yeah, the credit score system did kind of suck. But that was really more of the banks. I understand, well, the banks run by who? Well, yes, the Jews, but also the boomers. Two things can be true.
Runs one of the biggest private equity firms
Two
in
things
America,
can be true.
and he has a big problem. He wants
both of those
Social
things are true.
Security gone. Wait, what? Why Social Security? Well, if you don't know, Social Security is that small cut that gets taken out of your paycheck every week, and that cut gets sent to a big pool to send a monthly check to every retiree in America.
I hate hearing boomers say, and I've heard this recently where they're all like, well, I paid into it. I deserve that money. The money you paid into it is gone. Has been gone for a very long time. It is not a bank account with your name on it. It is a pool. It is a tax. And then you might receive some if you live long enough. But that's not the case anymore.
And obviously all this is government run. But if that money went to someone like my client in Wall Street, the management fees alone would be worth $940 billion over 75 years. And he's
right. And the specific people saving that money would also be able to take out more than $2,000 a month. Look, if you invest that much money over the course of 40 years into like the S&P 500 or like some sort of index fund or something like that, you're going to be raking in cash way more than $2,000 a month. So yeah, it helps the private equity companies, but it also helps the people that are retiring as well. Right?
blowing me up about it because one economist told him it was going to be the largest windfall gain in American financial history. So I told him, no problem.
Right. So instead of taking the Social Security money and sending it to the government where God knows what happens to it, where they have no accounting skill for some reason, even though they have state level funding, instead of that happening, these people keep their money and then feed it to these greedy private equity firms where they're going to get a much healthier return with auditable accounts. So what's the problem? It sounds like everybody wins. I don't see why the private equity firms would be like, we need them to hate the boomers. I don't know where that comes in.
Sounds simple enough. I'll start making the calls now and I'll get our usual lobbyists on retainer and then they will take it from there. But before I could finish, he tells me the even bigger problem. 80% of Americans actually love this program, whether they're Republican.
Social Security? 80% of Americans love Social Security? I don't. I know boomers probably love Social Security because they're on the receiving end. I'm not thrilled about it because I'm not going to get a dime of it.
Republicans or Democrats. In fact, they love it so much that almost every lobby group that has tried to get rid of it has failed. And so much so that even bribing politicians with campaign funding wasn't also going to work either, because every single one that has tried has been destroyed in the next election. So clearly this was a big problem. How the hell was I going to turn the public against the most?
No one has influenced my hatred for boomers except boomers. Yeah, it's really not. Look, maybe there is private equity firms and that maybe they are rooting for this, but that doesn't make boomers rude in real life like they are. That doesn't make them nearsighted like they are. That doesn't make them selfish like they are. That doesn't make them lazy, entitled, and naive like they are. Do the private equity firms do that as well? If so, how? How did you influence a generation like that so completely as to destroy their personality, destroy their sense of civil obligation, destroy their country for their children? How did you do that? Because that is really, really impressive. That's worse than an atomic bomb. You can really, really do some damage with that weapon.
Most popular program in the country. I didn't know the answers yet, but I knew it wasn't going to be easy. So the first thing that I do on any job is to study what's been tried before. And the first thing I find is this creative attempt all the way back in 1961. Back then, the American Medical Association wanted to kill what would eventually become Medicare. But like my problem that I'm facing now, the public supported it, so they couldn't really just attack it directly. So the AMA came up with something called Operation Coffee Cup. And step one was hiring this Hollywood actor named Ronald. And anyways, the
AMA, the American Medical Association, they've had they're not great people, admittedly. They are not great people. But like, why are we talking about Medicare? Is this just a similar thing that did happen? But that doesn't prove the other thing though, does it?
hired Ronald to record a vinyl LP called
Vinyl. Vinyl is the word.
Socialized Medicine.
Vinyl IP.
And on the record, Ronald warned that if Medicare passed, you and I are going to spend our sunset years telling our children and your children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
They don't tell me like that. They don't talk to me like that. They should. But you don't have to talk to me like that because I know exactly. Yes. Houses were 40 grand. You can work a summer job and buy a new car. Oh no, but 13%. I can't believe you had to pay $500 a month for a mortgage. I'm so sorry. Oh, and your wife got to stay home while you worked 8 hours a day, maybe. And like 4 of them were on the racquetball court. I'm guessing.
Pretty bold claim, but step 2 was distributing that.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe you were on the factory floor and you were like looking at Nudie Mag, smoking cigarettes. I mean, it's still pretty cool.
The AMA then shipped copies of this records to doctors' wives. All
because they get to talking. You know, you send it to doctors, it's like, but you send it to a doctor's wife and she'll talk and talk and talk. She's like, my husband's banging the nurse. They all do that.
Across America. And wait.
They all do that.
Okay, did it?
Why do you think nurses are such sluts? There's doctors around, all of everybody at the hospital is banging everybody else. It's weird. And like when death occurs, there's some chicks get hot for death. That's why there's goth chicks.
Did I read this wrong? Oh, wait, no, I was right. Not the doctors, the wives. Because that's what step 3 of the plan was, which is having the doctors' wives invite their friends over for
a new Saab costs $25K. Where? What? What do you, what? Do they put something out? What, is it a go-kart?
Coffee, play the record, and then get out their paper.
Does it have wheels and stuff?
Pens, envelopes, and stamps, so their guests could now start writing letters to Congress right there on the kitchen table. And the key rule was that the letters had to look like they actually came from concerned citizens. And of course, under no circumstance was Congress supposed to know that the AMA was behind all of this. Crazy, but I think this is like the first instance of viral marketing. But turns out that shit worked.
Who's paying this guy? Who's paying? I mean, like $783K. You're making decent money. You're making good money doing this. But I feel like this is sponsored.
The letters started flooding Congress, and the bill to
by a boomer to convince people not to hate the boomers.
Boomers government-funded healthcare was defeated in Senate that year in 19.
They're getting to a point in age when they're like, okay, I don't want to be seen as the villain anymore, even though I spent my entire life just raking people over the coals and taking advantage of every person I've ever met my entire life, trying to rook people left and right for small bits of cash. But now I want to be seen as the hero, as the good guy. So I'm going to use my ill-gotten gains to influence YouTubers. I would like some of those ill-gotten gains. I don't care how you got them. I'll sing the praises of you. If the price is right, I will sing the praises of boomers all night and day. Hit me up.
1961. So hell yeah.
The Sulk stream is for sale. Hit me up.
I have the playbook now. I can use this. I'll just do the same. But wait, hold on. God damn it. Well, turns out that after JFK.
Boomers aren't dying nowadays. Boomers are going to live for another 50 years, at least. At least. They might live another 100 years. With medical technology and shit like that, we might never be rid of the boomers. I severely doubt in my lifetime there will be no boomers around.
It was unalive shortly after. LBJ, who replaced him, ended up just pushing.
I know they were born 40 years before I was born, but I expect a good deal of them, not all of them, maybe not even most, but just the very rich ones, to live a lot longer than me.
In 1965 and by 1968, 95% of old boomer Americans had Medicare coverage. So much for these coffee parties. And so that wasn't going to work. So I needed to find something bigger and better. So I moved on to what happened next. And hold on, remember that actor Ronald? Well, yeah, that Ronald Reagan.
The actor?
And
Back to the Future.
Ended up becoming president of the United States. And as president, he also tried to end Social Security in the early 80s.
The boomers loved Ronald Reagan because Ronald Reagan did make the boomers pretty rich, but he kind of screwed up the country for everybody else. If you were born like after 1980, you're kind of screwed. You're crying. And he was a big part of that. He did a lot. He banned automatic weapons. He gave amnesty for illegal aliens. He kicked everybody out of their the mental institutions. Now we got a bunch of fucking crazy illegals shitting in the streets. So thank you. Thank you for that.
But
thank you, boomers.
Completely failed.
Thank you. Thank you, Reagan, specifically.
Put it down 96-0 in a spectacular failure. And so if a sitting president couldn't even push this through, what the hell will? So I was about to take the L and call my boss, but then I found the paper that changed.
The Greatest Generation was actually the ones who sold us out, the Hart Sellers Act, for example. Okay, yeah, maybe, sure. But I mean, like, if you have an entire generation that's just like, I don't care, I'm not here to fix nothing. And then they're raking in the dough and they have huge 7,000 square foot houses and shit like that. And they're happy and like riding jet skis and stuff. With their numerous divorces and their young girlfriends. Don't you think like they maybe could have done something? Maybe they could have been like, yo, this is going to cause problems down the road. We should fix it. We have to be good stewards of the country. They're going to say, remember the time. They did that. Back in the time. Back in the day. That's what they did. They did the not sarcastically.
Everything. This was exactly what I was looking for. In 1983, these two guys, Stuart Butler and Peter Germanis, looked at why every other attempt kept failing. And after careful analysis, what they found was the ultimate playbook. They published it all and called it a Leninist strategy to privatize Social Security. And they outlined 3 key steps.
Privatizing Social Security is just people saving their own money, right? Or is it forcing people to invest into private equity? Because is it a forced thing?
1, rally the money. Get the banks, insurance companies, and every institution that stands to profit on our side. Easy enough, that's my client's friends. Step 2, rally the right people. Find the right audience and turn them into your army. Okay. In step 3, rally the moment. Wait for the next crisis, and when it comes, have everything ready. I read it all in one weekend and voila, this was exactly what I needed. So I wrote out my plan and I called my client back. But first, I had to be honest. This was going to cost more than any lobby group, coffee party, or bribe, and it was sure as hell going to take a lot longer than an election cycle or even a decade. In fact, it was going to take a generation. Because if what those two deads said and outlined was true, the only way to get Social Security in private equity's hands was to convince the next generation to not want it. And to do that, we couldn't just force.
I don't want Social Security. I don't want to pay Social Security. I'm not going to see a dime of Social Security. I don't want Social Security. It's not because somebody is saying Social Security is like bad and that's communism, man. And you know, they're taking, no, it's not that. I have no benefit. I will not benefit from Social Security in any way. Why would I pay into something? The boomers knew they were going to get their payout. And honestly, even after it runs out, it becomes insolvent in 2033, I think they're still going to get the brunt or as much as they can to be paid out. They're going to figure something out. They're not going to piss off the boomers. They're never going to do that because they will riot in the streets. Can you imagine how many millionaire boomers are out there with nothing better to do and a huge amount of resources? You really want to piss off that demographic? No. Even when... Have you ever seen like a Karen or like some boomer gets his coffee a little too late at a diner? They fucking flip out. They flip out. They're the most entitled people in the world. They have no patience. They have no respect for other people. They're not going to want to mess with that. I would assume, right?
Force feed policy down their throats. We had to give them someone to blame. Someone who already has what the younger generations will never get. And so not to draw this all out, Mr. Client, but the plan was simple. We needed everyone to hate boomers.
Why? 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 Why can't? Why? You could have just not done anything and waited for the actual program to run out of money.
I held my breath.
You didn't need to have this grand scheme to make people hate boomers. You didn't need any scheme. You could have just been like, yeah, it looks like people are going to hate these people in like 40 years. We really don't have to invest in anything. It's going to be apparent. It's pretty apparent now.
So my client didn't say a word. But then I see a notification for $500 million.
Okay, it's $500 million. And you have 40 years to make $1 trillion. I feel like if that was just well invested, it wouldn't be a problem. Okay, if you invested in things in like mid 1980s, and you had $500 million, you could have bought houses. You could have bought $500 million worth of houses. That would have easily been worth $1 trillion. There's easier ways to go about it. There's just easier ways to go about it.
And as you're about to see, with enough money, you can make any narrative real, which is exactly why knowing where your information comes from actually matters. That's why I've been using our sponsor, Straight Arrow News, even in this new apartment that I moved to here in Brazil. And it's
Brazil? Why would you live in Brazil?
And the first organization we built was just a few years after 1983. True to step one, Peterson, along with his friends at Exxon and General Motors, rallied the money to build an organization chaired even by a sitting US Senator. The organization was called Americans for Generational Equity, or AGE, and the name should tell you everything. Because the whole point was to spread the message of old people are taking away from young people. And it worked.
Because it's true. Yeah, it works because it's true. Tell me in what way it's not true. How is it not true? How is that not completely true, though?
For AGE, the phrase generational conflict barely existed in American media, but after AGE,
Oh, age. How is it not true? They're all, what do you mean? How is it not absolutely 100% undeniably true? We have to convince them that they're taken from the young. They are, though. You don't, what do you mean you have to convince them? You can show them the paperwork. It's public information. Yeah, but we have to do it like sneakily to make money. That sounds like a waste of money. It sounds like a waste of money and time. Are you delusional? Yeah, but like, we got to be evil about it. Why? Why would you need to be evil about it? Show them the villages. Take a bunch of people from Gen Z and millennials and stuff like that and be like, you see this house that you can't afford? You know, it's $600,000 and you have to live in the fucking ghetto. Now look at this boomer paradise where they don't have to pay nearly as much and they get to live off your back. Investments and stuff like that. You pay them $600,000 for their house that they bought for a handful of strawberries. And they get to live like this for the rest of their lives. Because. Just because. It's not even about Social Security. What are you getting Social Security? $2,000 a month? You get $2,000 a month? That's it? I don't know a single boomer who's living off $2,000 a month. And if they are, they're fucking poor as dirt. That is a poor boomer. I'm sure they exist. I'm sure they're out there. Don't get me wrong. But that's a poor fucking boomer. I don't care about that guy. I don't care about that guy. Like, well, what do you... No, I'm mad at all the rich ones. Which are like the majority. I don't exactly know what the majority... There is a lot of them, though.
there were over 1,000 references in major publications.
I mean, they're 20% of the population. They own half the wealth in the country. They're worth, at the same age as millennials are now, they're worth 8 times as much. At the same age.
But that success only
8 times as much.
AGE eventually collapsed after the sitting senator, Durenberger, got investigated for using the organization to fund his own re-election campaign. But what didn't collapse
sounds like a boomer thing
was the old versus young framing, and Peterson and I now had something to work with. And all we needed now was just a new vehicle to run and build on the same message. So in 1992, with backing from both Peterson and Ross Perot, money now went to a group called...
Yes, I can see the chat. I'm looking at the chat. Yes.
Lead or Lead.
Yes, person over there on Snitch. Twitch. Yes, I can see the chat.
And the goal this time was to influence...
Are you going to try to boost my ratings or something like that? Are you trying to sell me a course?
The youth at this time, which was Gen X. And we're going to achieve...
Oh, I'm on your mom's ass. Thanks.
This by creating the largest grassroots college organization in the country. And to tell these young college kids...
He's like, are you on PC or console? I'm doing this for my Xbox, obviously. I'm doing all this shit for my fucking Xbox. Are you fucking for real, dude? No, you're not. You're just some dickhead that goes around Twitch looking for people that you think you can take advantage. Be like, I can boost this channel. You really got a good thing going here. I bet I can make you a star. Fuck off. Fuck off. This is my Xbox. Thanks for asking.
Is that their parents, boomers, are running up a tab and leaving you with the bill. And after press runs on everywhere from Nightline to CNN.
You guys know this game? It's, I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's, Ghost of Tsushima. Tsushima. Can't pronounce it. I don't know. I was thinking of a game with an Asian guy in it. Mirror's Edge? No, it's a chick. Asian guy. God, they are underrepresented. Wow, Asian guys are underrepresented. Even in like Japanese games. Asian guys are underrepresented in video games. I feel bad for them. Unsung heroes.
The message was getting out there, but again, the success didn't really last that
I get tons of bots all the time. It is what it is.
long. After failed campaigns for a Rock the Debt concert in an attempt to get people to burn their social security cards, the organization ended up folding. But what didn't fold was, again, the message. Because what is now established in the social...
This guy, the guy over the Twitch says, mind if I share my art with you? Just have a look. He clearly has not been listening to the things I've been saying. Clearly has not heard a fucking word I've been shouting into this microphone. I would love to look at your art. Yes. Can I please see your art right now? Can we just derail the fucking point or show I was doing to look at this guy's art? No, we cannot do that. No, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to send you a friend request either. No. No. Fuck off.
Zeitgeist is a thought that your parents stuck you with the bill.
Salvador Durca E. Yeah, okay.
So do you see how this all builds up? Because now that...
I mean, if it was Salvador Dali paintings or even like very close, if it had the same level of like, first of all, Salvador Dali was an excellent artist. I really like a lot of his stuff. But if it was even close to that, which I know it's not, it's probably just AI, I might take a look at it. But I would also not do it on my fucking show where I'm trying to rant about a subject. I don't even agree with this guy. I think this Asian guy, he has to be I feel like he's being paid off. He has to be being paid off by some boomer. He's like, my grandchildren hate me and I don't know why. So make a video. This is his tactic. He's like, I'm going to pay somebody off to influence him like that instead of just fucking calling them and being like, yo, sorry for being a dick my entire life. Sorry for slapping you around, but you know, I was trying to focus on me. Pop. I was trying to focus on me. You know? I'm sure you understand. I don't think it would work. And so he's like, I'm going to use my millions of dollars, perhaps billions, to buy YouTubers.
That message was all we...
Because I don't believe the private equity thing. Yes, it might be true. Private equity might be like chomping at the bit to get access to the Social Security money. That's fine. Because they're going to make a mint off of the Social Security money if the program is done away with. It's not, though. After it gets insolvent, we're still going to have to pay into it probably for another generation, if not two, and not get anything in return. They're not going to get rid of it. I hope they get rid of it. Because if it does go through private equity, the people that are actually retiring on that money will get 10 times as much. 10 times as much every month, at least. Right? Do you know how much money that is? Do you know how much money just goes poof? You know how much money gets used up by politicians just because, like, well, we dipped into the Social Security fund because we wanted to, you know, teach trans kids in Brazil how to tap dance or some fucking wild shit. So we tapped into the Social Security fund, so you only get $2,000 a month. Oh, I had a third yacht I had to pay for. So I tapped into the Social Security. No one is stopping them from doing this. They do it all the time. You think if a private equity firm did something like that and people started hearing about it, they would put their money into that firm or they'd start yanking it out left and right. You can't do that from the government. You can't yank out money from the government or else we all would have done it. We all would have done it long ago. We're all essentially slaves. Just get used to it. So good. Let the PE firms take it over. Good. It seems like a win-win all the way around.
Needed for the next organization to do its thing. Because now by 1993, Peterson is now partner.
Show his art so we can clown it. I'd have to go to my Twitch account.
turned up with Merrill Lynch,
Let me
and
see.
we were ready to get even more aggressive because now this new group was called Third Millennium. And instead of just lightly saying that Social Security is a problem, now the framing that we were pushing is that it's a generational scam.
It is a problem. It is a generational scam. These are true things. These are true things. I don't know how it's
And
not
your
true.
grandparents are literally running a con on you. But with bold claims, we need to back it up with some bold evidence, and we went about looking to prove that. So we hired this guy, Frank Luntz, one of the most influential political pollsters in America, to start surveying young people. But we can't just make this survey normal. We also had to slip some unrelated questions like, I don't know, about UFOs in the survey. Because then what we could do is use two completely
I don't know. I don't know how to look at it. I don't know how to look at it. He didn't send me anything.
separate answers and mash them together into a
He
big
probably sent it to my Xbox account. He's all like, well, this guy's clearly on Xbox. This is clearly his Xbox setup. With a green screen behind him. And the fucking... This is a nice mic. Alright, this is a nice... I do use it for video games, but it's not specifically for video games. This is my fucking Xbox. I hate bots, dude.
talking point. Because what's a more sellable and bolder claim than young people believe in UFOs more than Social Security? Guess what? That shit.
I believe Social Security is real. What are you talking about? What kind of fucking retard would fall for that shit? Look, okay, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of people who would believe that shit. But like, what do you mean believe in it? Like that it's a real thing? Or that it works? I don't know if UFOs work. Social Security doesn't seem to work. If you have a program that is going to soon be insolvent, that doesn't seem like it's working. Does it? If you're soon going to go out of business, if you're paying out more money than you are bringing in, by a lot, it doesn't work. Like, ipso facto, it does not work, right? I don't know about UFOs. I think they're bullshit, honestly. I think they're bullshit. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong about UFOs, but I'm not wrong about Social Security. Social Security is absolutely bullshit. That is a scam. That only one generation really truly is going to benefit from, which happens to be the boomers. Why? And you're all like, we're going to get them to hate the boomers to make $1 trillion. And we're going to, it's paper thin, dude. I'm telling you, it's flimsy. It's like your theory here. You did some investigative work, but I feel like the entire premise on its face is just stupid. But you made, look at the comments. His first pinned comment. This is on this is what he said. People will watch this video and still continue to blame boomers and your grandma for everything. Guess it means the campaigns worked. How is this not a grift? How is this not somebody paying him to put this shit out? How? There is no... they're just creating a glass... It's a bunch of boomers saying, good job, young man. I can tell you know your stuff. No, man. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense to me. But maybe there's some very key thing I'm missing. If somebody could point that out to me, I would really appreciate it. It just seems like it's not Social Security that's making people hate boomers. There is a problem how they had such more opportunity in the United States than we ever did. They had much cheaper houses than we ever did. They benefited off of social programs a lot more than we ever will. But you're all like, no, everyone hates boomers because of Social Security. That is such a fucking tiny drop in the bucket. I don't even want to like address it. That is the last thing I would ever think about when I think about my disdain for the boomers. Social Security, it is a factor. Don't get me wrong. It's another nail in the coffin. Don't get me wrong, but it is nowhere near the main point I'm trying to make.
Worked.
That's
That line
ridiculous.
appeared in 500 news stories. President Clinton quoted in a speech.
Perhaps an alien deep underground. I had so many people in my own administration were convinced.
UFOs are demons. UFOs are us. Okay, we're going down the wrong. You guys, stick with me. Stay with me here. All right, we got like we don't have a lot of video left.
But when someone actually asked young people,
Everyone's like, "Well, we're doing UFOs now. They're demons and shit." Okay, all right, but like, can we have like the attention span to get through one video? I wanted to make points and stuff, and it's just one video, and then we can go off on our schizophrenic rant, just out there. Yeah, we'll do the things we always do. Okay, everyone, just buckle up.
people that comparison directly, yeah, turns out they chose to believe Social Security over UFOs like 2-1.
Yeah, boomers didn't create Social Security. It was started under FDR. I understand that, yeah, but the largest generation to benefit from Social Security is obviously the boomers. The silent generation did get Social Security, and they got it for a long time, but it was not nearly a large. Like the boomer generation was much larger. It was much larger. There's a reason why it's insolvent, because they were a much larger generation requiring much higher payments. Well, and they didn't have enough kids to actually feed into it. And so they're like, you know what? We're going to start shipping immigrants in. Somebody's got to do this. Somebody's got to. It destroyed the country. It is the boomers that destroyed the country.
And the entire thing was made up, but who cares? The message was out there and we weren't anywhere near finished. Because then we launched something called the Call Your Grandma campaign. And I wish I was joking with you, but we literally asked young people to pick up their phone and pressure their own grandmothers to oppose prescription drug coverage in Medicare. And then
You're back on Medicare. Why are you back on Medicare? Why are you back on Medicare? What does this have to do with it? Medicare is not. Why are you back on Medicare?
And we also bought ads on MTV, which was the popular platform at the time, with a young woman saying, I'll be spending my whole life paying off the bills run up by our parents and our grandparents.
We're $40 trillion in debt. Where did that come from? I don't remember spending that money. Where did that come from? How are we $40 trillion in debt? How is servicing the debt like, I don't know how much the interest on it, but it's like $1 trillion a year in interest. I don't remember spending that. And when the boomers were our age, what was the national debt? Maybe $1 billion? Maybe $1 trillion? Excuse me, maybe it was $1 trillion, maybe it was a singular $1 trillion. And when it hit that number, people lost their minds, right? And now we're tacking on more than that every year. Like every 3 months, it's another $1 trillion. Where is this money going? Where is this money going? It is not going to us. Where did it go? How did you spend $40 trillion fucking dollars? How did you do that? How? And you're all like, and you want us not to believe that we're not paying for a bill that we didn't run up? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What?
And I want you to pay attention to something here. Like, notice the language. The focus across all these campaigns is never like the government or Congress, but the focus is always something personal, like your grandparents. And making it so personal works because we understand how media works, because media eats that up. And just with the snap of a finger, major publications are now starting to call Social Security a Ponzi scheme and referring to seniors as these greedy.
It is a Ponzi scheme. That's exactly how a Ponzi scheme works. And I'm not saying they're necessarily greedy, but they do want it all. They are geezers.
And now that this message
So yeah.
was continuing to build, this is also when Peterson himself started getting more involved, because now that the problem was out there, he got
Like, come on, Sulk, like you never lost $1 million a few 10,000 times. There's $1 million 10,000 times. 10,000 fuck. You have $1 million in front of you. And you're all like, I wonder if I could just misplace 10,000 of these. I can't do that with $1. If you put $1 in front of me and be like, lose 10,000 of these, I'd be like, how? How would I? No. I'd keep a pretty close eye on it. I would keep a pretty close eye on it. It's 10,000 fucking dollars. Now you times that by $1 million, and I'm not leaving my house. I'm boarding up the windows and I'm growing my beard out. My fingernails are going to be 6 inches long. I'm going to click when I walk, right? I'm going to be like Mr. Burns in that one episode where he's collecting his pee in jars. You won't see me anymore. The treasure will have me. I'll be the dragon on his pile of gold. I'll shoot the mailman. Just out of paranoia. I don't know you. But then they're all like, oh, it was here, and then poof, 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 it's gone. What do you mean it's gone? What do you mean it's gone? It's just, it was here. I remember it being here, but then I turned around, and then I turned back, and then it was like gone. And I was fucking little kids on an island too. That has nothing to do with it. But it does have something to do with it. That absolutely is involved. That is a part of this case. They're like, nah. I love it. Whenever you talk to a boomer like this, they always have that reaction where they're just like, nah. They do that. They just did. You make a good point to a boomer in any context, they're just gonna blow it off and be like, wow. Or if you like bring up like, oh, well, you fucked everything up and now everything's gonna be destroyed, and they're all like, well, at least I won't be alive for that. It's either complete dismissal or, yeah, it's happening, but it's not my problem. That is their entire philosophy. That is their entire MO. Their entire lives, right? I won't be here, so fuck it. Not my problem. Great fucking work. Great fucking work. Oh, but it's the private equity firms that are making us hate you. That's it. It's not, you're innocent. You've nothing but been hardworking geniuses. Every single goddamn one of you, your entire lives. Hardworking geniuses. It's these evil private equity firms that are tricking us poor, stupid, lazy millennials into hating you heroes of the economy boomers. Suck my dick. I fuck you and suck my dick. That's ridiculous. Why are you trying to gaslight me into it being some grand conspiracy? Look, I love me a conspiracy. I really, really, really do. Love them. Love conspiracies. I will bury myself. I'll have the fucking things on the walls and shit like that. I'll be like, look, it makes a star pattern. That can't be a coincidence. That's planned right there. That's some planned shit right there. But when you bring up shit like this, I'm just like, that makes no sense. That makes no fucking sense. Does it make sense to you? No, it doesn't. I hate it when people conflate good conspiracies with shitty ones. There are good conspiracies. 9/11 is a fantastic conspiracy. It's probably right on every level. The flat earth is a stupid conspiracy. That shit is retarded. That's a retarded conspiracy. I don't know about the moon one. The moon one could be real, could not be. I don't know enough about it, really. But like, there's a lot of them out there. Some are really, really good. Some are fucking stupid. They conflate the two and be like, they bring on some fucking weird conspiracy theorists like crazy hair and shit like that. And he's like, aliens. Aliens did this, man. And you know that guy works for the fucking CIA. You know he does. In some way. In some capacity, I'm sure he does.
Cover space in the Atlantic to now start telling America that the only solution to all this was replacing Social Security with private savings accounts. And now by 2012, the target shifted to millennials. By this time, we now have like, what, 30 years of practice? And with all this experience out there, we now started an organization called the Can Kicks Back, and we literally brought over the Avengers of this boomer suck campaigns. For example, we brought in
I'm sorry, aren't most private equity firms owned by boomers? Aren't most private equity run and owned by boomers? I know that's true. That has to be true. So a bunch of private equity firms got together. So what you saying is millennials are doing it? They're all like, we got this scam, boss. We're going to make everybody hate you. And he's like, that's fucking brilliant. That's fucking genius, man. I knew why I hired you. Because you're my son. But also that's genius. Come on. Come on.
Maya McGinney as the leader who served on Third Millennium's board. And for the advisory board, we brought in the ex-founder of Leader Leave. So now we have this all-star cast of the same people, but this time we tried some different framing. This time we didn't even mention Social Security in the pitch. Instead, the focus of this campaign became—
No shit, you didn't even mention Social Security? Probably because it's a fucking red herring. Because I think that this is a red herring. That's what it is. I think you're trying to blame Social Security, but that's not what people are mad about. People don't really give a shit about Social Security. I mean, it sucks. It's a Ponzi scheme for sure. But as far as Ponzi schemes go, it's one of the smaller ones. I mean, it's a large amount of money. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, that's not what people are pissed about. People are pissed about their attitudes and their laissez-faire attitudes towards their children, their grandchildren, the country in general. They saw a cash register and they looted it. That's what they did. They're like, this is here for me. This was meant for me. No, that was meant for you to be in charge of until you passed it on to the next guy. They're like, no, this is clearly for me. Start shoving dollar bills in their jacket and shit like that and be like, I did nothing wrong. And they got bills falling out of their pockets. Running around saying, I did nothing wrong. I'm innocent. You guys are just lazy. How fucking stupid. This show's gonna kill me, dude.
Came fixing the national debt. And it was smart because who's going to argue against fixing debt? And when we can talk about that problem and now start offering solutions like cutting Social Security and Medicare, it just becomes a lot more attractive. And with
look, Social Security and Medicare will not make a dent in the debt. Social Security and Social Security is actually kind of a lot of money, but like, it's still not gonna, we're still spending way more money than that. It will make a dent. Social Security will make a dent, but not enough of a dent for it to even really. Okay, so let's say we get rid of Social Security and then a boomer doesn't get $2,000 a month. I mean, we're not going to get $2,000 a month anyway. So that's completely off the table. Oh, well, you should have been nicer to your kids. Look, this could have all been avoided. Like the boomers were all like leaning into this Social Security thing because with free money at the end of their road, they don't have to be nice to nobody. They ain't got to be nice to nobody. And look, $2,000 is not enough to fucking live. Nowhere near it. But most of them have like a few houses and stuff. They have like a business. They're going to be fine. They don't have to be nice to their kids. In the past, when people like struggled, when people properly struggled, the parents would be nicer to their children because they know one day that those children would have to care for them and like see them through. But the boomer generation is like, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm going to be rich forever. And then you're going to be poor. And then I get to treat you how I want and push you around. Fuck those people. I honestly do hope they become poor. Much poorer. Far, far poorer. And they actually have to struggle a little bit like they made millennials and Gen Z struggle. Maybe not completely. Because that would be just outright cruelty, right? But at least struggle somewhat similarly. I don't think that's ever going to be the case. I really don't, but a man can dream.
This debt now becoming this, Trojan horse, we can really start getting even more aggressive with the messaging. This is our exact words, by the way. The defining inequality of our time is not the gap between the rich and the poor, but the one between the young and the old. So pretty much a Wall Street funded organization telling millennials that the real enemy isn't the rich that are running this, but old boomer geezers.
They're the same people though. Aren't they the same people? I'm sorry, the boomers control 50% of the nation's wealth. Are worth 8 times what millennials were worth at the same age. Aren't they the same people? Aren't they? I'm not saying the poor ones. But the poor ones kind of aren't that common.
And now that technology has caught up since the Operation Coffee Cup, we really started.
There's a lot of crossover there, right? There is a lot of crossover there. Oh, you're just, look, see, they're deflecting. They're like, oh, now you're mad at this little sweet old granny? No, I'm not. I'm looking at the fucking dickhead boomer with 6 boats, which is a lot of you. You all had this game where it was like the dickhead to die with the most toys wins, and outdoing the Joneses was that entire generation, right? You got to outdo the neighbors, right? They put in a pool, you put in a bigger pool. Yeah, they have an addition to their house, you get a fucking second floor on your fucking house. This was a materialist generation, and now they're just further on. They're just richer like that. And now they're like, don't blame us. We're these poor, sweet, innocent grandparents. Fuck you. My parents don't even visit my kids. Like, what are you talking about? A lot of boomers don't visit their fucking grandkids. If they had grandkids. And if they don't have grandkids, they're like, well, why do you never have kids? Well, because rent is $3,000 a month. Well, get a cheaper apartment. Where? You own all the houses. You're the one charging that rent. You're lazy. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Virality to reach.
Oh my God.
We went on college campuses with a mascot called American, literally a giant walking can, and asked students to collect aluminum cans to symbolize kicking the debt back. My entire life, there's been a boomer president. My entire life, barring Reagan and Biden. Maybe George Sr. But no one younger than that. No one ever younger than that. And we even had King Boomer, this 81-year-old named Alan Simpson, to dance Gangnam Style in a video where he told young people to stop Instagramming your breakfast and start supporting cuts to Social Security. So step by step, organization by organization.
Good. I don't want to look. I would rather have that money. Like, I know they're not going to give it to us. Right? If they're like, we're getting rid of Social Security, you don't get a bump in your paycheck. You don't have to no longer pay Social Security. They're just going to use it for something else. You're constantly going to get robbed. That's it. This is the life until shit changes, like for real changes. And when I mean for real changes, it's going to include violence. It is going to include an incredible amount of violence because that's how things change, right? The French Revolution wasn't just because, you know, it's not like they didn't have heads rolling. They had heads rolling. It's going to take a huge amount of violence. I'm not encouraging this. I'm not condoning it, but that's just how history rolls. That's how shit goes, man. So there's going to be some gigantic robot war or something like that. I don't know. Probably in the next few years. 5 years, maybe. I don't know. I'd be surprised if it didn't happen. I mean, we're already in the midst of it. Let's be honest. Yeah, but that's the only way it's really going to change. Is an entire paradigm shift in society. That is the only thing. Millennials and Gen Z and even like younger Gen Xers are completely right to feel shafted, to feel shortchanged and screwed. They are completely in the right to do so. Completely.
We made this all happen, but by 2014, yeah, I'm sure you can guess what happened next. Well, it turns out the Can Kicks Back's fiscal sponsor got its tax exemption status revoked for not filling out the proper paperwork. And then we got exposed sharing office space with the very same Peterson-funded groups that we claim to be independent from. And so just like every other organization, we ended up folding, but clearly.
Yeah, Biden was silent generation. He's very old. Biden is, I mean, like, you don't see Biden around. Like, usually when an ex-president, especially if he was like the last term, you would see him around, like, reading books to kids or something at this point. They don't allow him out. He was barely functioning when he was president. And I'm not making this political. He could barely walk. He would mumble and shit like that. He was loose brain. He was far too old to be president. I think Trump is too. Trump is far too old to be president. They're making decisions that they won't ever have to deal with. Most of the people who vote in this country make decisions that will help them immediately and screw over everybody else for a generation afterwards because they don't give a shit. This is a fundamental problem with the voting in general. Voting is stupid. Voting is a stupid system. Democracy means the dumbest person has the same say as the smartest person. That's fucking stupid. I have the same say as some of these people? Fuck that. No, I'm not participating. You know how many stupid is average. That is the average person. The average person is fucking stupid. So you're dooming us. You are dooming us. I've never voted in my life. I never plan to. I never plan to. Because I'm not socially responsible.
That didn't matter. Because remember, the whole mastermind point of...
Look, dude, the entire system is fucked up. They don't even have to listen to your votes, by the way. They're simply suggestions. They look at your votes and they're like, well, that's interesting. They can vote the complete opposite way. There's nothing that says they can't do that.
The $458 million that we spent and
so it is a waste of time.
Came up with was to buy a feeling. That feeling you get when you see a boomer complaining about work ethic from a house that they bought for $40,000. Or that feeling you get when you share a video called Why Boomers Ruined Everything with 1 million views and nobody in the comments asks who truly benefits from you agreeing with that message. Okay, who? Who then? Private equity firms? Private equity firms, they're benefiting in this long 40-year long scheme to make $1 trillion. Really? Really? They've engineered the entire thing. There's no fucking, no. And the reason why I know it was successful is because even though Peterson died in 2018, if you're watching this and nodding your head, clearly the message outlived him. Which now leads me to the final step, rally the moment. And ever since Peterson's death, it's something that I've been waiting for patiently. And that moment, or more specifically, that crisis may finally be here.
Okay.
The Social Security Trust Fund is projected to run out in 2032. And when it
Okay, that's what they're okay. So they started this in like the 80s, the early 80s, something like that, and they're all like, by 40 fucking years, in damn near 50 years, they're all like, we're gonna make $1 trillion in 50 years. Everybody, buckle up. Here's a $500 million investment to make this maybe work in 50 years. But you could have made way more with that money doing anything else. Anything else at all. You could have made way more money. There is so many better ways of making that money. There is so many better ways of making that money.
It runs out, it's not going to look pretty. Right now, that Social Security.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of old people that are going to bitch and moan. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to move into their kids' houses. If they have a house, well, they won't, because they're going to sell their gigantic houses. And then they're going to be like, I wanted $2 million for this. And no one's going to buy it. No one's going to buy it. No one's going to buy their house. And then they're going to abandon their houses. And then across America, we're going to have a bunch of McMansions that are falling apart that nobody wants to buy because they're pieces of shit.
Security check that boomers are getting is about $2,000 a month. And when that trust fund runs out, it will be a 20% cut that drops down to $1,600. In fact, some proposals are being pushed right now that will take it as low as $1,025. And if you're in your
Can you imagine $1,000 in 2032? $1,000 now is nothing. $1,000 now is not. Could I live? Well, I mean, like, if I lived in a tent, $1,000 a month, and it was just me, I could probably make it. Yeah, $1,000 a month. I could eat really cheaply. You won't even have to eat that cheaply if it was just you living in a tent. You'd be fine. If you have to afford an apartment or anything like that, you're screwed. But like in 2032, $1,000 is not going to be. It's going to be nothing. It's going to be absolutely nothing.
20s to 30s, you probably know all this, that your retirement isn't going to look anything like your parents. And what makes it worse is the reality. The median millennial right now has about $40,000 saved, and almost 1 in 4 have.
No. We're not doing a snot mommy ticket, okay? If anything, I'm running for president or king or something like that. We're not doing a snot mommy thing, all right? Forrest Mommy will have some sort of position, I'm sure. I'll figure it out, but not Dan Snot. What are you know what? Fine, Dan Snot, you get to be president. I don't care. I don't fucking care. No, I'm gonna be president. Me.
Already rated that just to cover rent.
Oh my god, dude! The history books would like there'd be those black and white pictures of people against the wall crying, and I'm just there. That's me, right? Hey. I'm the one holding the gun. I did that. I did the whole massacre. That was my idea. There's going to be black and white photos of me. Like this. And then marching. A lot of marching in tanks. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. It's going to be righteous.
Or some emergency. And now with this moment only a few years away, best believe
you're openly gay.
The campaign is already underway to make sure that
Freeside, you're first against the wall. Freeside is first against the wall. And I'm going to let Knobs Dog pull a trigger. How emasculating is that? You let that homo kill you? Ooh, you are not going to heaven, dude. When you get killed by a homosexual, you don't go to heaven. That's the rule.
Goes away. Because now in 2025,
that's the rule.
Different guy named...
I don't make them up. I do make them up. But that's what I'm going to make up.
Russ Green has started pushing a phrase called total boomer luxury communism. And as the name suggests, the goal was to paint boomers as living in this Marxist paradise at your expense. But where this really gets interesting is the strategy that he published and how similar it sounds to something I'm familiar with. Step 1 is raise awareness of generational
You're not going to shoot me, Knob.
injustice.
You think I'm going to give you more than one bullet?
2 is align Wall Street, corporate America, and the media. And step 3 is to form a counter AARP. And if you don't know, AARP is basically the biggest lobbying group that has been protecting Social Security with 38 million members. But most important,
Yeah, the largest lobbying group in America, AARP. They're the good guys.
importantly, beneath
Apparently, the largest lobbying group in the country are the good guys. Okay. 10-4.
those 3 steps is what he wrote in the parentheses, which is the alternative is tax hikes. And those
No, I'm going to kill Knobs too. Knobs is also, we're not going to live happily ever after. This is not one of those stories, okay? This is like Pol Pot. And don't make a pole joke. Don't be like, yeah, he's going to stick his pole in your pot. Fuck you. You probably weren't even going to think of that. I did that to myself.
5 words says a lot here. Green is literally saying that if we
I can't help it. I can't help it. Damn it.
don't cut Social Security, the only other option is raising taxes on the rich. So now I think you can connect the dots. That's what the $458 million and 40 years of campaigning was built to prevent.
No.
But preventing these tax hikes is only
There's not a knob sulk ticket either. There's no ticket. There's no. It is going to be me and the people who fear me.
half
That's
of it.
it.
'Cause remember,
There's
if
not going to be a vice nothing, okay? I'm never going to be killed.
private equity gets what they want, Social Security gets privatized, and now they start collecting management fees, which is again that $940 billion payday. But remember, this whole campaign to replace something that people love was to break it first, then
Fuck you, free side. Fuck you.
offer the replacement. But if you actually look closer into every single proposal to break it, you'll find that in all of it, it has one thing.
Yes, me and no one else. It's not a team duo. We're not gonna like be back to back with our arms crossed like this. There's no fucking reason for that. I don't need a backup. I'll make my decisions and that'll be. And you know what? I'm human. I'll make mistakes. I will. And then people will die because of those mistakes. I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'll be like, well, you know, practice. Next time, maybe more people will die. Fingers crossed.
Common. It doesn't touch boomers. So the people these campaigns were built to start demonizing, none of their Social Security checks will be touched. So remember
The ambiguously gay duo. What's ambiguous about it?
McGinnis,
How is it considered ambiguous?
the same person from
The clearly gay duo. The apparently gay duo.
from Third Millennium and the Can Kicks Back, she literally testified in the Senate this year to say it out loud that current seniors do not need to worry about cuts.
And I know that with changes that
I can't. I'm never gonna. John, if you can't respect yourself, no one else is gonna respect you.
we're going to protect seniors. Current seniors do not need to worry about it.
So the boomers aren't even gonna be affected. The boomers will not even be affected by this. So then who gets affected? If we get affected, that's... What do you mean?
So what I'm trying to tell you here is this whole 40-year campaign to make you hate boomers doesn't actually punish boomers. It punishes you. But what?
So I don't get $2,000. I wasn't going to get $2,000 a month anyway. You forget the entire part of insolvency. You forget the entire part where like you're only going to make $1,000 a month and most of you will make nothing. I wouldn't even take retirement, assuming it stays at, what is it now, 67? I wouldn't take retirement till okay. So 2056. 2056, 2057, somewhere around there. Do you think it's going to... Oh, no. I'm going to... I don't think we're going to have dollars in 2057. So it doesn't affect me at all. This is not going to affect me at all. It's not going to affect boomers. It's not going to affect me whatsoever. Who is it going to affect? Who is it going to affect?
What makes this worse is when you take the whole generational labels out of it. The thing
Gen Xers, possibly, because they're going to get a $500 check every month in the year 2040. Oh, well.
is there is
Oh, well.
It's not as simple as it seems.
You get one less trip to Taco Bell every month in 2040. I'm sorry. I know everyone here has seen Demolition Man. And Taco Bell is going to be the hit restaurant then. So I am sorry about that. But you're gonna have to get your 2 soft tacos that you can afford with $500 somewhere else.
But people agree with it. Right now, the law says is that you stop paying Social Security taxes on any income above $184,500, which only 6% of America makes more than that. But if you eliminate that cap so the richest 6% pay the same rate as you would actually close 2/3 of this shortfall. And before you say this is,
But it wouldn't it wouldn't close it all. So it wouldn't close it at all. So it wouldn't close it at all. So it would not fix the problem. Thank you.
just some communist bullshit, which is fair. What's crazy is that 68 to 80% of Americans support it.
I don't think I'm going to live that long. Knob. And yeah, me hitting the bottle. Do you know why I hit the bottle so hard? Because I have to deal with people like you. And it's not really deal with. It's just know that you're out there. It hurts my feelings that you're out there. And reproducing, according to you. I don't know how true that is. But according to you, reproducing. So it's like, I can't handle that. I can't handle it. I can't you make me drink. You drive me to drink. You're the problem. You're the issue. Others in here as well.
Across boomers and the young generations, and even across rich and poor. And turns out that the same organization that published the 1983 playbook ran a survey that found 2-to-1 support.
I am also sick of Frozen Asian lying to us. Let's watch the rest of the video though. This is not Frozen. I'm like 90% sure.
But as you can imagine, they left that out of the published report. So what I'm trying to say here is that in many ways,
I swear I'll ban my entire chat. I'll ban the entire chat and I'll sit here alone screaming into a camera. You think I haven't done that before? You think you guys were always here? No. There was a time when I was screaming into a camera. Nobody was here. It was just me.
boomers and younger generations want the same thing. In fact,
screaming into a camera.
They agree on almost everything from housing, taxes, and Social Security. And so what I'm trying to say here is that on policy, there is no generational war. But the people running this campaign buried it, and that's really what the exact real cost is. Because as long as you've been taught to see each other as the enemy, Blackstone is now 6 years away from collecting a $904 billion payday managing America's retirement. And so the next time
it really doesn't seem worth it.
You feel that anger, which will come.
It doesn't seem worth it.
Because
and I don't believe you. I mean, maybe Blackstone will make almost $1 trillion. That's possible. I can see that happening. You think, but you want me to believe that they engineered boomer hate. They tricked us all into hating the boomers. More importantly, they tricked the boomers into destroying society so that we would hate them. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. In some 40-year scheme. Look, they're going to have long schemes, sure, but no, I don't believe you. I don't believe this one.
Problems are...
Let's do a different video. Let's do something else. That's over. Let's do Hinge. Let's do this.
You've been single for a while and it's starting to eat at you a little. Time is slipping by quickly and it's not coming back.
Gay.
You should have found the one by now. Your
gay.
Friend is getting married soon.
He's gay.
Your roommate's going out on a date tonight with a
gay.
girl from Hinge. So maybe you should be on one of those apps. That's just how people meet nowadays. It's normal, and you're not gonna find someone any other way, so why keep
I like how FOMO immediately turns against Dan. She's like, who is we?
on waiting? So you download Hinge.
That's hard. That's dark. That's brutal.
And at first, you see
You're going to make it in politics, FOMO. I believe in you.
beautiful,
I
perfect
believe in
woman.
you.
This is amazing. The dopamine's flying, and hours go by, and you drift in a haze, hypnotically swiping left and right, waiting for the next match notification.
Trust me, if I had the opportunity, I would throw Dan Snot under the bus too. If Knobs wasn't always already there, and I don't want to subject Dan to that, right? I don't like Dan, but I'll be like, watch out, Dan! There's a knob under there. I'll save Dan from getting brutally ass raped by a cackling homo.
Over time, any matches you do get become worse and
Right.
worse. Suddenly, those beautiful, perfect women don't show up anymore. But you continue and you message these girls to no response. Sometimes you'll have a conversation and then it fades away, but one of them continues. At least it's something. So you meet up as two strangers connected by an algorithm. You pretend
All the chicks on those apps are fucking fat. All the chicks on those apps are fat or gross or whores or like some combination. Now, a lot of them are fat, gross whores. It's not mutually exclusive. They can be a combination of all of those things.
and it's not awkward or unnatural, and you go on the same mid dates at the same mid restaurants and bars with the same
mid-looking chicks. Because if you weren't mid-looking, you wouldn't need to be on fucking Hinge, would you? No. Guys would just come up to you. Look, I understand there's this whole argument about like guys don't approach women, everybody, because of Me Too. And like, oh, they don't want to like show up on TikTok and get embarrassed and stuff like that. But like, I'll embarrass myself. You think I fucking care a bunch of... No. If you're good looking enough, I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll catch a charge. I'll catch a charge. Whatever. I'll end up on TikTok super cringy. I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm drinking.
mid people. Over time, you
And so that's why all the ugly chicks end up on these and also on these apps they can make themselves look a lot prettier than they actually are.
realize you have nothing in common with any of these
Hey,
people.
thank you.
If you
Midnight-
don't try to
Midnight Rift
force
Party
it, you're left
stream.
with the gut punch that
Raid.
maybe this wasn't as easy
Pessy raid.
as it seemed. The solution comes with a notification ping. Hinge Plus subscriptions are now on a discounted summer rate at the perfect time. So maybe it really was just a
There's a subscription and stuff. I don't know. What are these like? Dan, can you tell me what these are like? What are these like? Disappointing, right?
case of not swiping enough. So you go back to the app over and over and over. Every day you use it day and night. Over time, the subscription discount fades away. And now
Forrest Williams says John is great at man on the street stuff. By the way, need more of it. Yeah, I can. You want to specifically Sulk stream, like Sulk on the street, kind of. We should have done Sulk at Sea. We should have called it that. Sulk at Sea would have been so much better than whatever it was called, ROTC or whatever gay thing. It just sounds better. It just sounds better. You will be getting more man on the street stuff, I guarantee you.
you're paying full price while the matches begin to dry up. So soon you're on Hinge, Tinder, Bumble, Raya. 4 subscriptions now draining you weekly. You know this isn't really how
I do have a thick neck. There's nothing I can do about that.
it's supposed to be, but there's no other way out. It's just normal. But there is something deep inside of you that you can't shake off. Who is behind these apps? Who is it who's deciding your future partner? Well, it turns out that you've landed in the trap of one man's quest for total power. A man who is
Okay, who is it?
single-handedly changing how love, human connection, and families are made forever. But when I tried to figure out who this man behind all of these dating apps really is, I started to realize this was going to be a lot harder than I thought.
No, it's Sulk on the street, not Sulk on an e-bike in a passing lane. No. And besides, I ride my one wheel. I don't even ride my e-bike anymore. I ride my one wheel now. I think it's fun. I don't care what you call me. Call me gay. I don't give a shit. Riding around on my one wheel is a lot of fun, and I ride all over town. Yep. I like doing that.
But it's an important question to ask, because right now, 1 in 5 people under 30 meet their long...
I could go to the beach and interview other one-wheelers, which would be pretty fun, because I see them all the time. Yeah, there's a few of them out there, yeah.
...term partner with dating apps controlled by one company, Match Group, who owns all the major dating apps like Tinder, Hinge, OkCupid, Match.com, etc. And then there's The League, which makes you apply and wait in line.
Just says she wants to do a Sulk stream specific Sulk on the street. I could. I could. I don't know. I get like, yeah. I could do that. But then we need to have somebody edit it. We can have Ardenshire edit it. Or Hammy. Hammy's pretty good. But Hammy's kind of like Royce's guy. I don't know. We can make it happen.
Line to be accepted. There's BLK for black singles, Chispa for Latino singles, and Our Time for people over 50. It extends its grip worldwide.
It's not a unicycle, it's a one wheel. The unicycles are different. Unicycles actually go a lot faster. The electric unicycles, those things are fast. They go like 70 miles an hour. The one wheels don't go that fast. They go like 25. And yeah, they're expensive.
In much of Europe, there's Meetic. In Japan, there's Pairs. Across Asia and the Middle East, there's Azar. So it would seem at the surface level, the man deciding your next girlfriend...
You want me to appeal to the youth? Sulk on these streets. And I have like one of those like Zoomer haircuts that's like all curly on top. I'm like, yeah, no cap. I couldn't do it. I couldn't take myself seriously. I really could not do it. I couldn't. I would try and then I would break out laughing. I couldn't do it, dude. I would like because it's going on in my head right now, and I see myself with a fucking haircut. And it's. I know you guys can't see it. I know I'm like enjoying my own little show in my head, but if you could like be in there with me, we'd all be having a good laugh. We would all be having a good time. And then we'd turn around and see something insanely dark. So it's a good thing you're not in there.
Must be the chief executive of Match.com, Spencer Raskoff.
It's important. It's existential. There's a loneliness epidemic and a mental health crisis globally, and it's driven by the fact that people don't have human connection. And I took this job because Match Group is one of the only companies globally that can make a dent in it. And it's important work, and I'm having a great time.
You're ruining people's relationships.
If you feel lost or...
I mean, like, yeah, there's a reason why nobody gets married anymore.
Lonely, he says his apps are the answer.
This is the loneliest generation. It's the most digital generation. They actually need our types of services more than anyone.
No, because those services, their profit comes from you being lonely. Like, I get Hinge is like, oh, it's the app to be deleted. It's not, though. It's not. Like, Bumble, Hinge, Tinder, and shit like that, they're not meant to be deleted. You're meant to use them. And forever, preferably. Because that's how they make money.
Now, they don't even want you to make the selection yourself. Their latest idea is Overtone, a dating app where you're interviewed by an AI model that determines your matches. But he only took the job at the start of 2025, and he's the latest in a chain of executives who are constantly
I'm a little bored by that.
For once, the CEO is not the answer to who's responsible for assembling this monster. You see, the Match Group is a monopoly inside a monopoly much bigger.
You're gonna hop around.
Idiocracy has become one of
I got bored with that.
the most celebrated comedies of the 2000s. But behind the scenes, the studio seemed determined to make sure it failed, because they gutted its budget, tried to hide its release from the public, and made several decisions.
Look, I mean, Idiocracy was kind of a stupid movie. It was kind of, I mean, it was good. It was prophetic and stuff like that. It was kind of stupid though. It was worth watching.
That are still being questioned today. In fact, the movie only got made because of Mike Judge's contractual obligations with the studio.
I owed Fox a screenplay and I pitched 2 or 3 different things and they said, oh, that's the commercial one. That's one you should make.
So he embarked on writing a screenplay centered around an alternative take on the human race.
And I'd gotten the idea when I was writing the Beavis and Butthead movie that it just favors whoever has the most kids. And I was just thinking about that. And then I started thinking there could be something funny. I'd watched 2001 again and just thought, wouldn't that have been funny if that movie was just, you know, giant Walmarts?
Look, yeah, there's going to be, yes, there will be, a lot of stupid people are having kids, sure. But those people are going to die off eventually. Things are easy now. So stupid people like Africa shouldn't be 2 billion people. It should be like a million, maybe 2 million people tops. But like you keep dumping rice on them and stuff, they're going to multiply. But like that's not going to go on forever. Eventually the system's going to collapse and it's going to stop being able to feed the stupid ones. And then they're going to die off and then the smarter ones, it might take a really long time, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
The Jerry Springer show, and instead of this.
Yeah, there'll be a couple generations that are pretty fucking stupid. Yes. We're in one right now.
So I just thought, what if you just charted from the 60s to now and just kept going out in that direction for another 500 years?
From there, he detached Eitan Cohen, who would later go on to co-write Tropic Thunder to help bring the script.
Tropic Thunder was a good one.
To life.
Then what was great about that was Mike Judge said, well, I remember you wrote some of the more offensive episodes of Beavis and Butthead. So I got this idea for this movie, Idiocracy, and maybe you could come help me with that.
And they used real life inspiration to help write the story.
I was at Disneyland with my daughters. This redneck mama behind me with her 2 little kids. A Mexican woman comes up. This woman behind me starts going, yeah, say that to my face, bitch. I'll kick your fucking ass, bitch. Come over here. And she's yelling back and like, I'm just thinking Disneyland and the
Disney fights. It's funny because you don't see a lot of kids at Disneyland. Middle-aged boomers, yeah, and boomers. But there's millennials there too, but it's sad.
Teacup rides,
which no doubt translated on screen.
Where's Officer Collins?
Shut up! Why you keep trying to read that word? You a your face.
Okay. What are you, F slur? Good comedy doesn't have to be smart.
You're in the wrong line, dumbass. Over there.
This sort of behavior definitely contributed to several scenes in the movie, such as the courtroom disaster.
Prosecute him. Why you think you done it?
Okay, number 1, Your Honor. Just look at him.
He talks like a too.
We've got all this, like, evidence of how, like, this guy didn't even pay at the hospital. And I heard that he doesn't even have his tattoo. Judge should be like, guilty. Peace.
I object that he interrupted me while I was watching Oh My Balls! That is not okay! You did!
Which is oddly similar to the dynamic in a courtroom that took place nearly a decade after Idiocracy was released.
You know, if I had a rock, I would throw it at you right now. Stop pissing me off. Just sit down. I'll take care of it.
I mean, yeah, it definitely mirrors modern courtrooms quite a bit, right? With the black dude jumping over the bench and stuff. I think it might have been a white guy, but it's true. I mean, look, it is true. A lot of dumb people are having kids, and this is from like Section 8 and stuff. For decades, people have been paying stupid people. The government has been paying stupid people to reproduce for decades. For decades. And now there's a lot of stupid people. It's not a shocker. It's not shocking. This is not a societal issue. This is a government issue. People who run the government want the populace to be dumber because it's easier to control a stupid populace. You're still getting the same amount of like money from them. You might not get the greatest tech, and like, especially if you have like more high-tech society, it's going to crumble and shit like that because no one knows how to do anything. But yeah, the government wants a stupid population so they're easier to control. That's not complicated. That's not even like controversial. I think that's just a clear thing that's happening. The government wants stupid people because stupid people are easier to control. That's obvious.
I don't need your help.
No,
Sit
no,
down.
I'm the public defender. I have a right to be here, and I have a right to stand
I
and
said
represent
sit
my
down.
client.
If you want to fight, let's go out back and I'll just beat your
Do it! Kick his ass!
ass.
I'm also...
That lawyer and that judge fucking fought over something stupid, I'm sure. Is extremely unprofessional. But I wonder who won.
reminded of this hearing that actually took place in the city I live in a couple years back. It's nowhere near as aggressive as the previous one, but it definitely feels like something straight out of Idiocracy.
Are you driving? Ashley, I'm pulling.
They want people just smart enough to run the machine. Well, here's the... They don't need... They were doing this for a long time. Since like this, I don't know, way, way long ago. Maybe the 40s, 50s, let's say the 50s, 60s. They've been paying stupid people to have kids. Just smart enough to run the machines, yes, but now they don't even need that. They don't need people just smart enough. And the people that are just smart enough are fucking loud and annoying. So they don't, I say we. There's no reason to have these people around. There's no us around. Like, I'm not one of the elites. I'm not like up there in the fucking, I'm not in the Hamptons. They don't really need us around. So why would they keep us around if they don't need us around? They're going to have unlimited food. They're going to have unlimited technology, unlimited intelligence and stuff with AI and quantum computing and stuff like that. They're not really going to need labor. Labor can come from robots and shit like that. They don't need that. They don't need any of us anymore. So why have us here? I think they figured this out a long time ago. And around 2020, I think they kicked off their plan to cull the herd a little bit. A lot of it.
To my doctor's office, actually.
So maybe I don't understand something.
I think what? I didn't say anything else besides that.
Okay. This is.
I didn't say nothing, YouTube. I didn't say nothing. You can't say shit to me. I didn't say nothing.
Everyone license suspended.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving. He didn't have a license.
Oh. Homeboy's in his car.
So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is turning himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn in.
What a stupid asshole. He's like, shit, right. I can't be. What I'm doing right now is a crime. I didn't do nothing. Wow, you gotta be really fucking stupid.
Himself in will result.
I gotta zoom into court today for a traffic offense. They took my license away. You're doing it as you're driving. You're doing it.
On the bench warrant with no bond.
Then there was the bit about Starbucks. One of my favorite gigs from the movie that he also based on real life.
Starbucks, and because I remember actually
government schools have destroyed the population. I mean, public education has been a weapon against society for a long time. I remember I went to public school and I fucking hated that shit, dude. That was a nightmare.
Actually driving on I-35, was a tanning salon. It said exotic tan for men. I had no idea that tanning salons had turned into, hand job places or whatever it was. So I was just talking to friends of mine and going, wow.
Exotic tans for men? What the fuck does that mean? Is that a hand job? You're getting a tan, you get the handy and the tandy? That's what I would have called it. Handy tans.
I wonder what's next. I mean, is it going to be like Starbucks?
But there was actually a real problem about this within the legal department, and it almost didn't even make it into the final film.
How I'm going to come up with something better than the Starbucks thing. It's not fun.
Forrest Mom, you going to go get hand jobs at the tanning salon? Do you do it in the booth? Is there a glory hole on top of the bed that you just like reach your? I don't know the mechanics. Or is it like a little, you take a break and stuff like that, and then you get out. You get out and then you get back in. Tanning beds are a mess. They're a mess.
Funny if it's not a known place, you know. And so, well, they said no, and then they said, well, you know, I just said, so what can it be, satire? And they said, well, what would help us is if you didn't just pick on them, if it was a bunch of companies. I was like, okay.
This would also prove to be problematic down the road for the movie, which we'll touch on in a bit.
No one's donating these days, huh? Am I just having a tough week? Is that what's going on? I'm just having a tough week this week, huh?
But I'm sure these additions
no one wants to donate.
Or what helped land Costco in the movie, leading to my two favorite bits in the entire movie.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco.
Love you too.
I love you. Yeah, I know this place is pretty good. I went to law school here.
In Costco?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it myself. Luckily, my dad was an alumnus and pulled some strings.
So they finally had a finished script, and were ready to get into casting. But then they ran into yet another problem that would make it impossible to make the movie at the time.
In 2002, and couldn't get anybody to be the lead in it. Nobody wanted to do it.
Noms Dog, are you trying to solicit prostitution in my chat? Can you not do that? This is a well-to-do gambling parlor / prostitution ring / money laundering business. Probably shouldn't have said that last part.
Rewrote it, and maybe it was a little better, but one of the things about that movie, it was sort of a bigger concept than it was a movie.
Thankfully, many years later, after several rejections, they finally landed Luke Wilson to star in it, and it was now becoming a reality. But by then, Fox had already had enough, with cinematographer Timothy Sarstedt saying, quote, "It was a very frustrating process for Mike, because he had his deal at Fox. I
wonder how much they cost to make this movie.
I think it was pretty clear by the time he got around to making Idiocracy that not only did he not want to work with Fox.
Yeah, cut me in on the profit. I need 10% at least. 10% for the house? FOMO? 10% for the house? You want to respond to that in any way?
Didn't really want to work with him. I've seen this happen before, but this was the most egregious, where a studio doesn't want to make the movie, but even more than that, they don't want another studio to have success with it if they turn it down. While he didn't elaborate on his point, I have to imagine Fox was at their wits' end because of the lengthy and bumpy script writing phase. But none of this really makes any sense.
This guy seems real chill, hanging out. 15K subs. I don't have 15K subs. I have like 260 on YouTube. Not many.
And given how enthusiastic and encouraging they were at the beginning.
That's fine. I hate YouTube anyway.
Of the journey. But they would continue on to casting. Terry Crews, who plays the...
What my real passion is prostitution. So I'm pimping out Forest Mommy now. And there's no set price. It's just whatever you guys are willing to pay, I guess. I didn't start it. It's you guys in the fucking chat doing it.
The president has gone on to become one of the most iconic characters in the film.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of America!
I mean, look, you saw The Fifth Element, and you had President Debo. President What Bike. I think he would make a better president. President Camacho would make a better fucking president. President Debo. Dude, that was ridiculous.
Yeah,
that was a ridiculous acting or casting.
And the dust storms. And we running out of French fries and burrito coverings.
Yeah.
But I got a solution.
That's what you said last time, dipshit. I got a solution. You're a dick. South Carolina, what's up?
But he said the audition process...
What's up, South Carolina?
...was downright grueling.
I had to audition for this movie probably 7 different times, which is really unusual. Usually, if you get a call back, you might get 2 or 3 at the most. I remember when Mike Judge said, "You got the gig." The casting director, Mary Vernew, she said, "Terry, if I told you who and how many other people were going for this gig, you would be intimidated." She was like,
Who else was going for this gig? Was it like Will Smith? Because he wouldn't have done it right. Will Smith would have been gay.
And she's like, there were some big names going for this president role. And I was like, oh my God. And they were like, but Mike wanted you. That's why we kept calling you back.
Much like the writing team, he also drew inspiration from real life.
He did a good job in the role. Terry Crews in that role did a good job. I will give him that. I think he was well casted in that role. Who else? It had to have been a black guy. It would have had to have been Kevin Hart, perhaps. Maybe it was Samuel L. Jackson. He would have been terrible. Ving Rhames would have been interesting, actually.
Knew President Camacho. He reminded me in church where you had a pastor or a preacher who you knew was a hustler. If you just put $5 in the box, $5 will get you what you want. And I was like, that's the guy. He's a wrestler. He's an ex-porn star. He's a charismatic person who's just bigger than life. And he wants to run the world.
Okay. They'd round out the cast with the likes of SNL star Maya Rudolph, punk star Dax Shepard, and a rising star but unsung hero thanks to his legendary cameo, Justin Long.
Don't want to sound like a dick or nothing, but
Justin Long had done a lot of movies at this point. He was in Jeepers Creepers. He was, I wouldn't say rising star. Justin Long had a lot of work before this. I wouldn't call him a rising star.
But, it says on your
Patrice O'Neal would have been fucking weird, dude. I don't know if Patrice O'Neal would have pulled it off. Like, Patrice O'Neal is funny, but like Terry Crews doesn't. Terry Crews has that soul. Patrice O'Neal is just pissed and dead. I don't know when he died. I think he died after this, but still. Yeah.
chart that you're fucked up. You talk like a and your shit's all retarded. What I do is just like, you know, now there are plenty of out there living really kick-ass lives. I need help. There's that talk we talked about.
Pre-production was definitely rocky.
Yeah, all right.
But it would pale in comparison.
I think I would fit in well in this future. Okay, yeah, you're probably, yeah, you will, because you're an F-slur. You guys would all be there with me, right? You guys would all be there, like a good percentage of you, which 100% of you.
To the absolute mess of a production, this movie
and we'd all be baiting.
It all started.
We'd all be baiting and like watching porno and stuff, and it seems like a peaceful time to be alive. Yeah, there's a lot of trash, and people end up in prison for literally nothing. But it seems like a peaceful time to exist, to me. This guy looks like he would be there too. This guy looks like he would be there too. Me and this bro. What up, bro? You bait today? He's like, yeah, I've been baiting. What about it?
The budget Fox gave them. Production designer Darren Guilford recounts, I remember having a conversation with Mike Nelson, who's the
exactly Renee's understood the assignment. Yes. Same shit as usual. Exactly. Shit don't change. Right? We're getting drunk. You like sex too? I'm like, yeah, right on. Baiting, porno,
producer. Back when I took the movie, it was like
bunch of degenerates in my chat.
Here's the money. You have to make this movie. You either make it for this, or we're gonna find somebody else. I remember sitting in that room thinking, I'm gonna agree to do this movie, knowing there's no way.
A-Dub says 100% is almost everyone. See, we would fit right in. There wouldn't even be a thing. I don't even know if we'd notice. Would we notice? And if you did, I'd be like, take it easy, buddy. Have a balloon full of nitrous. That'll all go away. All that noticing shit is all going to go away. And he's like, yeah. I like porno too. And then just starts baiting. I can't believe that shit's legal. That shit should be made illegal. At least in the way it's sold. Galaxy gas? Oh, it's for whipped cream. No, it's not.
Way in hell we're ever going to be able to figure this out. Of course, this meant there was little fun.
Forrest, mommy, I am not a degenerate. You're in this chat. What do you want me to say?
Funding for the
What do you
wardrobe
want me to
department as
say?
well, leading to both a unique and ironic.
I didn't say. Okay. Dan Snot said, "Yeah, you are," and he would know. He's like the king of rats, dude. He is the rat king. Like, yeah. Don't go around Dan Snot. He is the epitome of a degenerate.
Ironic decision.
Costume designer.
I've seen him in real life, and I was like, oh my God.
She had a limited budget also for the shoes. So we shot it in 2004. She tells me,
like, he just looks like that.
Okay, there's a startup, and it was Crocs, but they weren't out in the world.
You had prostitutes turn you down.
World yet, but it was a small company, and she goes, "Look at these horrible plastic shoes with holes."
That's rough, bro. That's right. He had Las Vegas prostitutes turn him down.
She said we could really save a lot of money, just put everyone in these things. And
I mean, you gotta love a self-respecting prostitute, right? They're low and they're dirty, but like they got their limits. I understand. Everyone does. Everyone does.
But then people are going like, "Oh, that's pretty funny that you put everyone in Crocs."
And the irony didn't stop there, because Luke Wilson feared what they were shooting was a little too out there, not knowing how the movie would age.
Saying like, well, Mike, are you sure that we can do this? And you'd be like, you don't think it's funny? And I'll be like, well, I think it's funny, but I mean, I'm totally immature. But I mean, is this going to be able to fly in the lab?
It was a stupid movie, but I mean, like there was some good chuckles in there for sure. It was for stupid people. It was actually a super meta movie. Maybe it was like a lot smarter than I'm like letting on. It's been years since I've seen it. So maybe it was like, maybe Mike Judge was just doing something so meta that I was just at the time not in the loop. My brain was not like mature enough to actually understand like how this is a movie about stupid people in the future. Literally for stupid people in the future. It's brilliant. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, holy shit, he's done it again. He does great work. King of the Hill is a great show.
Last administration, they did hire somebody with a cabinet job that was actually from Carl's Jr. And I thought, okay, now that...
Merch just posted no Nightwave tonight. Go until midnight, John. I'll go a little longer. I can go longer.
Is pretty incredible.
I was planning on hopping off, but I mean, like, if you guys have nowhere to go,
right? Mike Judge was
you guys have nowhere to
unintentionally
go.
predicting the future.
I can do that. When does Virgie start? Does Virgie start at midnight? Because like if I'm gonna do that,
Crocs, to now even politics, everything that was supposed to just
it's been a long day. I've been working all day too, so
be a gag.
Wait, no, that was yesterday. Well, fuck you.
Became eerily
fuck you
accurate
anyway.
down the road. But it wasn't just the budget that made this production a little.
Onia says, encore, you missed the whole show. Should we just start over again? Should we just start the whole fucking thing over again and we'll just backtrack? No. I don't have prep lined up. I don't have anything like that. But that doesn't matter because I'll just roll. I don't
Live
care.
in hell. They also had awful luck with the elements.
Somebody's got to fucking donate though. Because I'm not going to do a 4-hour show if I don't make a goddamn dime. All right?
I feel like it was cursed to begin with. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. Like so many things. Like we shot it here in Austin. It's supposed to take place in a drought, and it was like the rainiest summer. We had to keep killing.
Virgie
grass.
goes when he goes. Is he awake yet? Or is he still blacked out from yesterday? I see yesterday.
Yes.
During the day, he got blackout drunk.
They finished filming the movie. They ran into yet another f*** you from the studio. This time,
Virgie has a real tight schedule. Is that what you're telling me, David? You're telling me that Virgie has a real tight schedule. I don't believe you.
Got the special effects budget, despite knowing how much this movie relied on effects. They wouldn't budge at all. And the
Okay, honey, well, I guess I'm going long if my wife is watching, which I doubt it, because she's better. She's not a degenerate like you people.
only way for it to work out was for Mike to go behind the studio's back and get help from another legendary director.
Nickel and dime.
Okay, I know Virgie is not 7 feet tall.
Effects so bad.
Okay, I'm sorry, Virgie's a 7 foot tall, super punctual German guy. Yeah, that checks out. He's not skeevy, and skeevy would not be the word to describe Virgie. Nope.
Badly, there was a point where I'll pay for this myself. I'll pay $30,000 to not have another one of these meetings. And I actually ended up, without even telling them, Robert Rodriguez has in Austin,
All right, well then you guys send in videos you want. Or I'll just pick whatever.
has his own special effects people.
And donate some fucking, give me money.
And he said, look, I'm in between movies. They actually did a couple effects shots. It's like
just to help out.
Free, yeah.
This really tells you everything you
7 foot tall midget doesn't even make sense, right? The world's tallest midget makes sense because it's just a normal sized person, but a 7 foot tall midget is just a 7 foot tall person.
need to know about Mike and Robert Rodriguez. A lot of
I think this guy is like stupid. I know this is like a freeze frame, and it's not like the most flattering freeze frame. Like maybe I could freeze frame myself. Hold on. It's not very flattering, but it's still. You can still see there's a light behind my eyes, right? You can recognize there's a little sparkle. There's a fair amount of pain back there. Don't get me wrong. There is a large. Thank you, David, for $5. He just says N. He just starts off an N tower. I mean, if you guys donate an N tower properly and like pull it off, I'll be so impressed. I know it won't happen just because you guys are not organized like that.
Directors would have waved the white flag at this point.
I'll take the $5. I'll take after all that. I think it's like $240 or something after taxes and fees are taken out. But whatever, it's something.
In fact, I'm sure there's an alternate reality where someone else is directing this movie and things get so bad that the movie doesn't even get released. Mike's passion, patience.
That's a patented Sulk wave bit. I like how you guys run my show. Like you guys, like Farrell's a producer, and then Knob's Dog is the host apparently. And then like Renee's does something. I think she's actually a mod here, but I don't think she's ever done anything with it. Ever. You're a mod on my channel, and all you do here is call me gay. That's not your job. Your job is not to just sit there and call me gay. And I know what you're going to say. I do it for the love of the game. I would appreciate it if you actually did the mod work. I give you the badge and everything.
And ability to deal with all the nonsense that the studio threw at him is why this movie turned out.
Oh, you use the app so I get less. Okay, great.
As well as it did.
Great.
Something I find so
Thank you.
admirable is that despite everything going on, Mike appeared to
appreciate getting less.
Be a stand-up guy, with production designer Darren Guilford saying,
I mean, like, how much is a Chipotle burrito is like $18. So, like, I would love to make enough to buy a burrito.
It was really hard on him, and I don't think he got the support that he
I don't know who Karmic X is. I have no idea who these people are that Mersh deals with. I don't want to know. This is not a show where I'm like, look at this streamer. He's an F-slur. I don't give a shit about other streamers. I really don't care. You know how many people wanted me on their fucking show? Like, I got messages from fucking people being like, hey, can you be on my... No. I don't want to be on your show. Not about, like... What the fucking shit? You guys know what I'm talking about. They fucking message me and I'm like, hey, you want to be on this show? No, I don't want to be on your fucking show. No, I don't. I don't know you. And I'm not interested. I didn't say anything. I literally did not say anything. I did not respond, but no.
Deserved and he needed.
No.
He was never rude and he was never disrespectful. But it was hard. It feels ridiculous to say this, but despite...
Are you trying to say Rhea? Are you trying to say Rhea? Where the fuck is Rhea? Where has Rhea been?
how much of a living hell pre-production and production were, nothing would be more infuriating than how the studio treated the release of this movie. And it all started with the testing of the film.
It didn't test very well, which a lot of movies don't. They have these sheets and it says excellent, very good, good, fair, and poor. For it to count at all, it has to be excellent or very good, I think. We would get like a 70% very good and excellent. That's considered a horrible score.
Which led to all sorts of ideas from the studio as to why it wasn't testing great. And some of these hypotheses were...
I mean, it did well. The movie did well. I know a lot of people who love that movie, so...
really grasping at straws.
I know, Eugene. That's why I'm still on. It's because there's no Nightwave. And so I feel obligated to adopt you people. I didn't want you guys to be a part of the cult because this is a bad place. This is a bad place for bad people. But welcome, I guess. You guys all belong here.
There was one guy who
not me. I'm looking from the outside. I'm on the other side of this camera, and I'm looking into this chat, and it's sad. I'm like, oh no, oh, they got nowhere to be. Oh, what's wrong with Mersh anyway?
His head. The problem with the movie was Dax's voice, and he wanted Dax to completely loop the entire movie in a different voice. It's always nice to hear that people like Dax in that movie, but it's weird how one person in the studio.
Yeah, hey, what up? I'm a degenerate. Nice to see you.
Get in your head and go like, shit. Maybe
but apparently FOMO is not a degenerate here. So everyone say FOMO is not a degenerate. Let's see. I want to pick another movie. I mean, that goes down. I mean, Grandma's Boy. Okay. Is it the same guy? I don't want to do the same guy. He seems stupid. He seems stupid. Let's just go back. We're doing this. I don't have anything planned. Actually, I do. I've got other shit. I forgot. I had a whole backlog.
I think all these influencers are lying about being rich. I'm almost at 1 million followers, bro.
That's not even the right. Hold on. Poop. There we go. This is about influencers and how they're all lying to you.
Broke as fuck.
We know that the recession is here because these influencers at Coachella look like ass.
So a lot of these influencers and people nowadays, they take their quick little money, they spend it all, and they have a Lambo, and then they're broke in 6 months.
Yeah. Ah, what the fuck was that? What was that? I looked away for a second and then saw some sort of bat hybrid, I think it was.
Yes, I make $400,000 a week.
$400,000 a week doing what? Being an influencer? Forrest Mommy, how you have like 40K followers, right? How much do you make being an influencer? It's not $400,000 a week, I imagine. Right? Is 40K in the influencer realm? Would that be considered an influencer? I'm legitimately asking. You do get paid. You do get Twitter money, right? How much? If you don't want to say how much it is, it's fine. I'm not gonna like pry or anything like that. But this bitch is like, I make $400,000 a week being an influencer. No, you don't. Maybe if you're getting shit on by like Arab like oil sheiks, then you're making $400,000 a week. But still, you're not even worth that. Maybe $10,000 a week to get turded on. To get a dookie shot in your face, you probably make $10,000 a week. And that's like once ever. That's one time. They flew you out. It was business class. What was it? The Arab airline. It has a very nice business class. But you got flown out, and you're like, yeah, bitch, stepping out. I'm on the PJ. You're not even on a PJ. This is a public airline. This is a commercial airline. But you do have a fairly nice seat. They give you champagne and everything. And you got shit on, like in your mouth and stuff. Right there. And it hit the back of your throat. It hit the uvula, right? And it kind of made you gag a little bit. Not because it's shit. It's just like when you stick your finger in there. She didn't care about the shit part. She was like, I'm making that money. I'm in Dubai and stuff like that. There's a lot of spit on the ground. For some reason, they just spit everywhere. It's another culture. It's another culture. Now she's going to gargle some diarrhea. I'm sorry. That's not what the Sulk stream's about. We're not going to go back. We're not going to go back to talking about would you rather eat a turd or like a cup of diarrhea? Because I don't think we actually landed on that. Did we? I think most of us said I think most of us chose the gun. It was a gun to your head scenario. Would you rather have diarrhea or a turd? Would you rather eat one or the other? And I think most people chose to die in that scenario. But she was all like, hey, $10,000? Who needs dignity?
What? If you want
Not me.
Like, they're not pink anymore, and brand deals are actually running up.
Guys, when I tell
Forest
you
Mommy,
I haven't made
Forest Mommy being the classy broad that she is, she just said she'd rather die. I don't know how long I'm going tonight. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Since February, $1. Not one email.
Here's a day in the life of an influencer living in Los.
Could you imagine deep frying a turd, Dan? Like, could you imagine what your house would smell like? It would smell like an Indian's house. It would smell like an Indian's cab.
Angeles, who can't pay her mortgage.
You gotta send a galaxy, bro. You gotta get a galaxy, guys. Send me something, man. That's how I make it a living.
Oh, you know it's bad when Alex Earl is commenting on her own post saying, why am I shadow banned?
I say this as someone who's meeting a lot of influencers now day to day. They are in credit card debt.
Nothing fuels resentment.
What do you mean fucking gross? The fried turd? I mean, it'd be better than just a raw turd, wouldn't it? Because, like, when you fry anything, it makes it better. Like, maybe you're like, okay, maybe it's like a fried Twinkie or something like that. And you bite into it and you're like, this is not a fried Twinkie. No. You haven't spit it out immediately because it's fried, right? There's like a coating around it that's keeping the large, but there's still poop on your teeth because you had to bite into it. This is not what the show's about, though. This is not the show I do.
Quite like watching someone.
This is not the show I typically do.
Unbox a $15,000.
We rarely talk about eating poop. Once or twice a week tops.
$1,000 handbag while you're wondering if you can even afford rent next month.
No, this is like not bad.
For years, that's been the internet's great divide.
Oh, this broad with the really nice hair. I do have to say that she's got lovely hair. I can't say I like her because she's talking too much. Usually I like my women a little quieter. Yeah, so let's see what she has to say.
Millions of people struggling through layoffs, inflation, and a cost of living crisis, while the influencers lived their best lives, flaunting $200 candles, renovating mansions, and floating from one luxury vacation to the next.
We're in Africa, and I got a frozen brown elephant, which is Coca-Cola. Hello.
But oh, how the tables...
Hello. Hi. I would walk in front of their camera. I would walk in front of their camera and then stand there. I'd make my neck as big as possible because I know that's going to ruin their shot. That's going to ruin their shot. I'm just going to thicken up my neck like that dinosaur in Jurassic Park that spits at you.
Have turned because suddenly we're seeing influencers scramble. Everywhere you look, creators are selling questionable courses, promoting shady products, and squeezing every last dollar out of their audiences.
The Sulk stream is selling this thing, one of these. Do you want that? I think it's from a Happy Meal. I think my toddler was in here earlier. I know he was. He likes to pretend to work on my computer. So he just sits down and starts shouting the N-word. I'm like, that's your first word? Okay, it's pretty funny. It's okay. All right.
The truth is, no matter how polished their Instagram stories look, the recession is catching up to the creator economy.
It's only a problem when he starts saying it in public and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, don't talk to my kid like that. Because I'm mad at the adults. Let him free. Let him live his life. All right. Let him fly. Spread those wings, butterfly. Express yourself. Right? You're trying to clip my boy's wings? I'll beat your ass, homo. I bet they think we're a lovely family.
The era of easy money online may be coming to an end. So that's what we're going to unpack today. The collapse
lovely
of the
family.
influencer gold rush, the creators who are left panning for scraps, and why the promise of influencer freedom was always too good to be true.
Who decided to make their money as an influencer? Look, this is not what I am doing is not influencing. And if you are influenced by me, who raised you? This is an entertainment comedy / social political commentary ish show. This is not influencing. I'm not taking pictures of me in I do take pictures of me in faraway country, but that's because I'm on vacation. All right. I'm not getting money from that. No one's on my Twitter. I have more Rumble followers. I'm not an influencer. Unless you guys want to call me that. You guys want to call me an influencer? Because, I'm influential. No, don't you fucking dare. Don't be influenced here. I don't want to be responsible for your decisions. Don't let me influence you. Dance not with a fiver. Thank you, buddy. When my brother was a little kid, he stood up on the table of a Mexican restaurant and yelled, "Pentejo." All right, cool. That's pretty funny.
The fact that a lot of influencers have been faking success the whole time. Because while...
What does that mean? Is asshole? Pentejo? Right?
Some of them do make boatloads of money. As it turns out, many of them are just trying to fake it till they make it to that level of success.
How many... Forrest Mom, I don't think we ever got a number from you. Maybe she doesn't want to tell us, but maybe she actually just does not know. But it can't be a lot. How many followers do you actually need? I don't think Instagram pays dick. I know X really doesn't pay much. You would need a lot of followers to actually make somewhat a living. I think Elon Musk could probably make a living off doing it, but he already has enough money.
Influencers so broke. Why literally this week did I get 6 calls from different creators that have so many followers being like, do you think I could do UGC? Why are you LARPing then? Why are you making it seem like you live this grand life?
The moment that truly...
Because they want to put on a show. Because they want people to think they're having a better life than they are. And who's paying for these, trips? Is it sugar daddies? Is that what it is?
Shattered the influencer facade.
Because I noticed that men aren't typically influencers. Or ever influencer. What's a male influencer?
As we all remember, was back in 2020 when the story came out that influencers had been renting a fake private jet set, pretending that they were living their best lives 35,000 feet above ground, which is hilarious.
It's not even an airplane seat, it's just a recliner.
But also is a tale as old as time in the influencer world. Ever since the peak of the YouTube days, up-and-coming influencers have been performing wealth that they don't have, betting that the payoff eventually will outweigh the price tag.
No, that's stupid. That's retarded. And I can see why you're doing it.
That price tag included designer clothes, Airbnbs, supercars, and even renting out mansions.
So wait. your business strategy is making people think you're rich. So eventually they'll give you enough money to become rich. It's a fake until you make it strategy. It doesn't work. Maybe it has worked for somebody. I doubt it.
All as an investment in their future.
When I tell you the money back then on YouTube was absolutely insane. I was only 19 when I started my YouTube channel, and as you can imagine, all of that money at such a young age came with a lot of frivolous spending. Now the proud owner of a bunch of designer bags.
Because when you logged online and saw Jake Paul flying on a private jet, literally waving money around like confetti.
Yeah, I think he had money from something else.
We made like $1 million off of YouTube. From vlogging?
It's easy to justify your spending. The influence...
I kind of don't believe anything that motherfucker says. I hate the Pauls. I despise them. I hate them almost as much as I hate those Tate I can't say that. The Tate brothers. I don't like either of them. I think they're both just dishonest. They're fucking douches. And they influence young kids. Like the shit they do like is influencing like 7-year-olds and shit. But whatever, if you're making money doing it, then like you do you. I get you want to make money. We all want to make money. I want to make money. I made a wild $10 tonight, so I'm gonna be eating good yesterday. But I fucking hate those people.
So Lizette shares her story of this pressure, said here she took on $10,000 in credit card debt in the mid-2010s, trying to...
$10,000 in credit card debt in the mid-2010s trying to mimic the carefree fun. $10K? That's... Really? $10K? That's it? $10K? Oh, look, I understand that's a lot of money, but like... It's not, though. It's not a lot of money. 10K is really not a lot of money. But if you're just faking it, you can probably get by with 10K, but you're just faking it. You're renting everything. It's not a lot of money.
Mimic the carefree, fun, and busy influencer lifestyle that dominated Instagram at the time. Taking a trip to Austin, shopping at influencer favorites.
Austin! Glamorous Austin, Texas. Wow. It's not like Greece or anything. Or like Morocco or something exotic, or like, I mean, I'm not gonna flex on them, but I go on nice. Like, I don't have to fucking go to Austin.
Stores or dining at trendy new.
I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to be an influencer. You see me fucking flashing my ass in front of a pool in like Monaco or something like that? No. I could do that. I could probably manage that. I could work that out. I'm not gonna.
Restaurants. You feel like you have to put up this interesting lifestyle.
I'm not gonna. No, that'd be
less
retarded.
so a premium lifestyle. It's like, oh, I have things going on every day. Don't you see? And I think especially during the 2010s when aspirational content was at its peak, essentially.
You're at the beach. Looks like a nice beach.
Dominating the space, there weren't many other options besides portraying a curated, living my best life aesthetic.
Ben says, dang, I put 10K in a machine to engine and a radiator and a clutch. Yeah, that sounds like an actual good use of the money, though. Like, that seems like something I would do. 10K is not that much. 10K is one plane ticket. 10K is a plane ticket. It's not even like, it's not, you're going to go to a nice destination, right? But like not, you're going to go in coach. You ain't getting business class. All right. Not for 10K. Not unless you're going to like, if you're flying from New York to London, maybe, but that's not a very far trip. But even then I would be kind of surprised. But that's it. Once you get there, you have to get back on the plane and go home because there's no way that's it. That's all the money spent. You took one photo and then that's it. 10K is not that much money.
If you wanted to gain traction online. Like, just look at the fact that one of the most popular corners of you.
Jess, can you bring me another soda water? I'm yelling a lot.
YouTube was haul content. The more shopping bags you had in the thumbnail, the more views you would get. So that's where the facade began, but fast forward to the present day, and money is still a fickle thing in the influencer industry.
So you borrow a bunch of money to look rich.
Because even if all that investment paid off and you're one
It didn't.
of the lucky ones who made it in the industry,
You aren't.
getting into partnership programs and
You're doing porn now. You're doing OnlyFans. You're spreading your hole on the internet. Like literally the whole part, not the cheeks, the whole. You're making sure they see what you had for lunch yesterday. The whole.
brand deals start rolling in. That doesn't necessarily mean you've achieved the American dream or that your bank account reflects your success.
I'm not the most financially responsible person
No shit. Woman.
in the world. I feel like the second I do a brand deal, I have the money.
Brand deal. Are you really doing brand deals? Are these chicks doing brand deals? I don't think they're doing brand deals. I think they're full of shit.
And I don't. And I spend it like I have it because I know it's coming.
Because what you usually comes
It's not
next.
coming. It's not coming.
That's right. Life.
No. It's not coming. I spend it like I have it because I know it's coming. Never comes.
Style inflation. To maintain the illusion of success online, you spend more
I don't know if she's pregnant. She kind of looks like that though, doesn't she?
of what you're making, racking up views in the process by flaunting your new high-class lifestyle.
Over the last few weeks, I've been really purging my house and especially my closet and just getting rid of.
I mean, look, these chicks are poor. And that sucks, right? But like and they're going to be old soon, too. Women good, they might have 2 or 3 good years. But then they're very, very old. It's one of those things that happens. And so they're like, I'm pretty. Most of them are not. Don't get me wrong. Like, they are not. Don't be like John said, thinks they're pretty. They're not. They're not pretty. If you were pretty, you wouldn't have to do any of this. You wouldn't have to deal with this. If you were pretty, you wouldn't deal with any of this. You'd be like, fuck that noise. I'm going to enjoy my vacation because I'm pretty. I'm not faking it with filters and makeup. I don't have to do this. I'm set as it is. That's what it's got to be a great part about being a woman. Is like, if you're born pretty, holy shit, dude. Like, you don't have to do nothing. You don't have to do, you don't even have want to, if you don't want to have kids, you don't have to have kids. You get a fucking free ride forever. And all you have to do is get fucked and live in a palace. That's pretty cool. That sounds like a good time. That sounds like a good time, right? You're just like, yeah, that's what I do now. Here I am, look at me, I'm hanging out. They're not taking pictures by the pool. I mean, they might be, but like, they're not like, I hope this makes me money so I can pay off the wild amount of debt that I am accruing from this.
So much that I don't use anymore. And one thing I realized is I have purchased way too many designer bags that I literally never use. I feel like it's just one of those things where when you finally have the opportunity to purchase designer items, you just get really excited. And you don't really think about what you're buying, but because it has a designer label, it makes you excited and you purchase it.
The problem being that when
I don't get that. I don't wear designer clothes. These are Canada Goose. I've never heard of them before, but I like the glasses. I did have a pair of glasses that were Fendi, but I did not realize they were Fendi. But I lost those. I don't know where I'm actually kind of bummed about that. I lost those. I have Crocs. This says Rhythm. Never heard of it. This is Fruit of the Loom. Yeah. That's about how it goes. I don't know brands and shit like that. Maybe that's huge for women. I'm sure it is, but like for men, I don't think that's a thing.
the influencer money inevitably dries up.
Try to get a brand deal for Sulk Stream? Who is going to advertise on this show? Who is going to advertise on this show? Have you seen this show? Big B, have you seen this show? What kind of advertiser in his right goddamn fucking mind is gonna want to advertise on this racist podcast? Who? I mean, even on Daywave, I don't say the shit I say on here on Daywave, but like, I mean, he gets deals and stuff. I don't give a lot of my opinions on Daywave. I try to make a joke here and there. The rest of the time, I try to stay quiet because Pessy's going to call me retarded and tell me to shut up. And I'm like, fine, fine, okay, I can handle it. I'm here. I show up. Okay, that's what I do. On my show, this is a fucking completely different animal. There's weird shit going on here. I wouldn't be selling like chips or like makeup on my show. Or like, hey, you guys should sign up for BetterHelp. Because you're all fucking insane. That one might be a good one. That one, like, I know they wouldn't be like, because I'm not the picture of mental health. Yeah, I've been using BetterHelp for a long time and it hasn't worked at all. As you can tell. Because I'm a maniac. Because I am an irrational, unhinged psychopath. BetterHelp. No. No, that's a bad look. That is a bad look on the brand. I can understand that. And you know what? Good. Because like, I will sell out in a hot fucking second. I will. I'll take the money. I'll sign the deal. I'll fucking prick my finger and sign it in blood. But nobody's offering. Nobody's interested. Nobody's interested in the wares I have for sale. And I understand that. I can appreciate that. That's just good business. That's just good business. You do you, sir.
Which usually does happen to some extent. You're stuck with the bills from the lifestyle you built at your peak. So you're either forced to go into debt, keeping up with appearances, or downgrade your lifestyle substantially with nothing to show.
I too am retarded, so what should I sell? Like chew toys for humans. Is that? Like, have all your pencils been chewed to shit? We'll take this chew toy for humans because I know you guys are all gnawing retards. You guys like to destroy you chew on things because that's where you get your enjoyment. Is that maybe? What is that? Chewy? The Chewy.com where they sell dog treats and stuff like that? Maybe I can do that. Hey, I know you guys don't have dogs because the state says you were inherently irresponsible and took away the 32 cats you adopted. But how about a Chewy subscription where you can just go ahead and use those dog toys yourself? See, my demographic is not worth it. I don't think you guys have any money.
Go for your success.
This girl got on here and was talking about how influencers are going to be broke soon. And it's comparable to professional athletes because most of them, like 70 to 80%, end up going broke. And the main reason is because they buy a bunch of stuff like houses, cars, whatever, for themselves, for their families, and then when it's time to pay. And
Ben has 450 followers on YouTube. All right, why'd you tell me that? Why did you tell me that? Now I have to look it up. Ben, what's your channel name? Tell me your channel. Ben Cho? Is it the same? Ben Cho. He's not going to tell me. He's like, I know better.
And they're out of the league. Like, there's literally no money left.
There's no better example of this than a few years ago when
he literally says, I dunno. Ben doesn't even know his own YouTube channel. I dunno.
Jason Nash, who we all remember
Son
from
of a
David
Beach, you're just guessing things.
Brick's Vlog Squad, but he was the talk of the town because he was begging for money on TikTok Live, even though he should be set up for life given how much money he was making at his peak.
Like $200,000.
How much was he making?
$150,000, $300,000.
Through what, sponsors and stuff
Through
like
sponsors.
that?
In a podcast, he was asked about this and why he doesn't just get a normal job, and he simply says that he can't. Sure.
Would I be on TikTok Live if I wasn't in like a financial hole?
I don't know. Probably not. It is what it is.
Since then, we've also seen Tara.
Does TikTok make money like that? I don't care. I don't go on TikTok because I'm an adult and I can't do TikTok. I can't look at TikTok. I've tried. I've downloaded the app and stuff, and I've scrolled for about 10, 15, 20 minutes. And I'm like, I hate this. I hate this. Look, and it's probably because I didn't let the algorithm, like, settle in for me. Because, like, I have an algorithm on X. And, like, it's, like, a lot of video game stuff and weird conspiracy shit. But, like, that's probably why. Because I just didn't let the algorithm settle. I didn't know how to use it. I was like, this sucks. This is annoying. I'm not doing this anymore. And I just dropped it. Never touched it again.
Lynn, an OF and TikTok creator who rode the same riches to rags roller coaster. She blew up during the pandemic.
Dance Not, you have 150 followers on Rumble because those are my followers. I gave them to you, and I'm going to want them back.
TikTok boom and leveled up her lifestyle, which
I'm going to want those people back.
Included buying a mansion.
I know they can be subscribed to multiple people at once, but I don't want you associated with the Sulk stream. And don't call it the snot stream. Don't fucking call it the snot stream. That's not... No. No. I'll sue the shit out of you. I promise you I will. Change the fucking name. Call it like the snot flow. Or the snot ball. Or the snot slide. I don't care what you call it. Don't call it anything similar to mine.
California.
When I bought this,
You can call it snot wave. I don't care.
I was like,
snot wave was good.
making so much more money than I do now because my OF was just.
Yeah, you could call it Bucky's. That's what you should do. You should call it Bucky's. Change your PFP to the Bucky's Beaver, and then just call your channel Bucky's and see if they do anything. You might actually luck out because one day they're going to be like, "Hey, you can't use that. That's ours." And then Rumble's going to be like, well, he got it first. There's nothing we can do about it. It's not like copyright infringement. And then they're going to buy the channel off of you. That's what they're going to do. They're going to buy the channel off of you. And then I better get the majority of that money or I'll beat the shit out of you.
Doing better. So
I will rob you in a back alley. I will. And I'll pull the ski mask up so you know it's me. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm here for my money, motherfucker. And I'll put it down because I don't want blood on my face, especially your blood. And then I'll just start fucking Donkey Kong on that shit. Right? It's going to be brutal, dude. It's going to be way too much.
I got approved for a $6 million loan. I was like, oh, wow. But I had already found this house.
I got approved for a $6 million loan? What? Don't take that. That's called slavery.
And this house was on the market for 3.8, and I was like, oh, like I'm lowballing it right now. Like so I think I took out, I don't know, I put like $1 million down, and then I did renovations. So like
how are these people making this money? No, I doubt it.
Minimum mortgage payment right now is $25,000 a month.
But the money did eventually slow down, and as she shared in
Dan Stone says I have O positive blood. No, it's B positive. Because I B positive, you're going to bleed. Because I'm going to, this, it's going to be brutal. I'm going to kick a lot too. Money's going to fly out of you like a GTA prostitute. It's going to be really, really satisfying.
Multiple TikToks, she couldn't afford her $25,000 a month mortgage payments anymore.
And I used.
Yeah, $25,000 a month for a mortgage. Yeah, no shit. Look, how stupid do you have to be? If you're making that kind of money, I don't know how she got a loan. When you do this, if you make that kind of money in a year, don't expect it to last for 30 fucking years. And you need, for a mortgage, you need to make that for 30 years. Are you going to make $25,000 a month for 30 years? Are you really going to do that? No, you're not. Why do you have no planning? Why do you have no foresight? Why do you have no foresight? Things change fast online. Okay? You might be making that now, but eventually, in like 2 or 3 years, you're going to get too old to make that money. Right? And so it's gone. It's gone. Then where's your mortgage?
Used to be making enough money to cover that. I am no longer, and I'm very transparent about that.
Alas, Tara shares that she inevitably had to sell her house and is trying to live within her means now. The overarching theme here is that it's all too common to have too much success with too little financial literacy, which brings us to influencer giftings. Pretty much every
Dan in Hiding says this reminds me of A Knight's Tale when he's threatening Paul Bettany. I don't understand that reference. And is Dan in Hiding just Dan Snot's other account on YouTube?
scroll session, you're bound to stumble upon a hashtag gifted post where a creator shares how a brand hooked them up with some free product that they didn't expect and are so grateful for.
So Jess gets these brand deals. She gets these brand deals a lot from, and she got a decent amount of followers, not tons, but she's all like, they message her and they're all like, hey, we love your work. Would you like to collab? Just show off our stuff and we'll give you a 10% discount. And then she's all like, no. You send it to me for free and I'll consider it. It's not a 10%. Fuck off, dude. Fuck right off. A 10% discount. You send that free 99 or nothing's happening. Bare minimum. If you want to toss me a $500 check, yeah, you'll probably get a couple of posts out of it. You might get one. But come on, 10% discount. Suck. Come on. No. I'm sure FOMO gets a lot of that too. Is she still here? Or did she just get... She was just mortified by how much I would beat Dan Snot to death.
The problem with this is that it's not just a present from your aunt. It's a business transaction dressed up in gift language, even if there's no contract signed. Meaning that gift is compensation, and so the market value of whatever you received is still taxable income. And so to the unfortunate surprise of some influencers, by the time tax season rolls around, they receive tax bills for all the giftings that brands sent them and wrote off to the IRS as marketing expenses.
Yeah, that makes sense. You get a gift tax, yeah.
As an influencer, I received a 1099 that said that I was compensated $63,000 for the year of 2023, when, spoiler alert, I didn't even make half of that in the entire year from social media.
Too bad. Because when the IRS says it, it doesn't matter if it's true. They're going to get their money. You owe the money.
Let alone one collaboration.
This is real money they owe on physical products they received, and sadly, they can't just slice a Revlon lipstick into thirds and mail off 30% to the IRS. And so these influencers are stuck footing the bill even if they aren't making an income off of their socials yet, digging themselves into a financial hole that they weren't even
don't do that.
Aware of.
I want to get free stuff.
Yeah, they didn't know.
No, you do not. No, you do not.
And it really is tragic because with basic financial literacy...
Yeah, the IRS is something, right? But the boomers going to get their money, right? The boomers want their money. The boomers, they make it a sport to dodge the IRS. And they're actually pretty clever. They've been doing it for years, right? They were doing it before all these taxes came into play, right? All these tax loopholes came into play. So, like, they got a bunch of, like, tips and tricks to pay way less than they need to. And they get like accountants that will do all this stuff and make it real tricky. I mean, it's a crime, but like, it's not a crime. The way they do it, it's not a crime, but it is a crime. It would be considered tax evasion because it is. It's tax evasion. But they don't care. They'll fucking be like, hey, I stiffed the government for this much. Made my son pay for it.
See these.
All right. I decided to go Matthew McConaughey with that one.
Creators would understand how taxes work as well as the.
All right. I've been driving a Lincoln since before it was cool. Ew.
The importance of setting money aside in savings for a rainy day.
Okay, all right, yeah. I got the buzz. I'll check Ko-Fi. I have to bring it up on here though. Ko-Fi. Kofi. Goofy. Just sign me in. Please just sign me in there. Okay, all right. Dan in hiding for a $5. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. And he made me. I can't even click it. I have to do this. Here's the clip, homie. He says, and I will bring it up over in this side because I know you guys sometimes like to do very silly things and send very. Dude, Royce was pissed about that one, like the whole clam slam on the thing, dude. That was funny. I mean, it's not funny. You shouldn't do that, but I mean, it happens. It happens. It happens.
I will phone you until your insides are out. Your outsides are in. Your entrails will become your extrails. I will all the pain. Lots of pain.
Yeah, that's right, Dan. You're going to get that. I'm going to give that to you. I'm going to extrail you. To Australia.
We're in the fine print of that PR,
thank you for the
which
donut. I appreciate that, man. Here's
it
about
states that you get taxed, and I had turned in a W-9 to them, but I didn't know what a W-9
Is this a child? Is this a child?
was, so I didn't know I was getting taxed.
But the unfortunate reality is that a lot of them don't even know that they need to set money aside.
I don't know what Mersh is recovering from. I have no idea what is going on with Mersh right now.
For taxes, let alone when the brand deals dry up. But the moral of the story is that this is a common cycle in the influencer world. Lifestyle inflation catches up with you and you're left with bills to pay and no money to pay them. Often this leaves people in an even worse position than they started with, relying on credit cards just to get by until their next big break. Speaking of financial literacy, a stat that surprised me was that about 82% of Americans don't have—
I don't want financial literacy tips from a woman.
So this brings us to our next uncomfortable truth that the
7 tabs? No, I don't think he's on 7 tabs. I think he's on something called Delphin tabs. I don't know what a Delphin tab is. We're gonna look it up. Delphin tabs. We're gonna look that up. I don't know what they are. Maybe it's dolphin tabs. I just heard him say it. I don't know what it actually is. Dolphin tabs. Drugs. Okay. Dolphins purposely getting high on pufferfish. That's just good.
When attacked, pufferfish release a neurotoxin. In high doses, it can kill, but in small doses, it has a narcotic effect.
Gets you high. Gets you high. Yeah!
It seems to be affecting the dolphins.
I want to give a dolphin cocaine. I want to give a dolphin so much coke.
They appear totally blissed out by the whole experience.
These dolphins be raping, that's true. They're just doing drugs. They're smoking puffer fish and then they're raping chicks. Girl dolphins. I don't know what you call them. Bitches. Cows? I think the term is cow. I think the literal term is cow. God, these are ghetto-ass dolphins.
And remarkably, all take turns in passing the puffer around. This is the first time that apparent recreational drug use has been documented in dolphins.
In dolphins, but not in another animal species. Other animals, wolves will eat wild mushrooms, like psychedelic mushrooms, and fucking trip balls and shit. Knowingly doing this. Boars will eat fermented fruit on purpose to get drunk. All animals like to change their all animals like to get high. It's just, it's illegal for humans because we're really good at it. And I don't know. I hate to bring back up the boomers, but when they were doing it, it wasn't a crime. They were like, yeah, but when our kids are doing it, we're going to make it a crime for them because, like, fuck those kids, man. And they're still doing drugs. In the villages, they're snorting Molly and shit like that, fucking each other in the ass. They're still doing it.
With the dolphins otherwise engaged, the puffer deflates. He's free to go on his way.
So, I don't know why we got so sidetracked, but yeah, whatever he's doing, okay, well, this one's, I gotta watch this one. Whatever Mersh is doing, whatever Mersh is coming off of, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know anything. Why you guys would think I would know something about it, I don't know. You guys definitely know more than I do.
We at the National Aeronautics and Space Administration are taking the next steps towards interspecies communication. That's why here on St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, we have a team of researchers working around the clock to attempt to communicate with dolphins. Let's check in on them. Oh, for the love of all that is holy, what are you doing to that fish? Technically, he's a mammal.
So yeah, we're going to talk about that. I'm King Trout. Buckle up, kiddos. This one gets weird. Our story begins with an American research scientist by the name of John C. Lilly. Lilly was a neuroscientist who during the 40s and 50s conducted research on the structure of the human brain and human consciousness. Research which eventually led to him developing the first isolation tank. His fascination with the human brain expanded into a fascination with cetacean brains. Cetacean being a family of sea-dwelling mammals.
Cetaceans are killer whales, dolphins, whales in general. Those are cetaceans.
Like dolphins, whales, and porpoises. You know, the kinds of sea-dwelling mammals that 5th graders and people who are no fun at parties like to inform you aren't fish. His fascination
well, I mean, yeah, they're not fish. Sharks are technically fish.
Stem from the fact that these mammals have brains which are in most cases larger than human brains and appear to be as complex, if not more complex, than the human brain.
I wonder what they think about.
Based on the observations that...
I wonder if they think we're funny. I mean, they probably do, but like, I wonder if he watches my show.
Cetaceans have such large and complex brains, Lilly made it his goal to develop communication between humans and cetaceans.
It did not work.
He founded what he called the Cetacean Nation. Cute. In an effort to, first, develop communication between human beings and cetaceans, and then, second, allow these cetaceans to openly...
I'll tell you what they said. They're like, we don't like the Japanese. They keep stabbing us. We don't get it. Why do they like to eat us? And then people are like, there's something. I don't know. We don't know. They like sushi. They like, I mean, they eat you raw.
They communicate
It's because they don't have pizza. They don't understand the concept of pizza. Well, I was in Tokyo, man. They don't get pizza. They don't understand pizza.
Politically, as a nation with the rest of the world. His logic being that such complex creatures should also have access to human rights.
Did you ever see Altered States? I saw a little bit of it a long time ago. Yeah, it was weird.
The same set of rights, anyway. He wanted the Cetacean Nation to be an active member of the United Nations. I'm serious. Now, obviously, none of this would be possible unless we could develop a way to communicate with the cetaceans, so he had to start there. He began his attempts to communicate with cetaceans, primarily dolphins, through the 1950s. Until in 1959, he founded the Communications Research Institute and built a facility...
Now, I don't remember the dolphin and Johnny Mnemonic. If there's only a device to help me remember...
on St. Thomas Island.
I'm sorry, I had to do that. I'm sorry.
In the U.S. Virgin Islands. With all of his focus on dolphin-based communications, he really...
I know it was stupid, but shut up.
Things into high gear. How could he afford to do this? Well, the United States Navy and NASA were cutting him a check. But why? Aliens. I'm dead serious. I told you this one gets fucking weird. In 1960, astronomer Frank Drake and Carl Sagan got together and developed what they called the Drake equation. This was an equation to determine the likelihood that life
All right. Yeah, just let me... Okay,
exists
he's getting
off
to
of
it.
planet Earth. And it turns out the odds are pretty fucking high.
Goofy says, I got it. It was a clever joke. Thanks.
This meeting was considered by many to be the first official step towards SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Now, NASA obviously was very interested in the possibility of extraterrestrial life existing, as was the US Navy in case we have to kill them.
Welcome to Earth.
So research began in earnest. But then Drake and
Will Smith was going to be President Camacho. We've decided that. It was Terry Crews or Will Smith. That's what it came down to. And they're all like, we're going to go with Terry. And Will Smith cried right there in the audition. He cried. He wept openly. And he's all like, man, Jada keeps cheating on me and stuff like that. And then the people were like, that's rough, man. I'm sorry, but you're not fit for the role. And he's all like, I feel bad for Will Smith. His kids don't respect him and his wife doesn't respect him. Nobody respects Will Smith. And he's like, I mean, he does decent work. He's not fantastic, but he's like, all right. I mean, you know, he's all right when it comes to an actor. He's not great. He's okay at it. But he's built a really nice career and a portfolio, and nobody respects him at all, dude. Poor Will Smith. I mean, he is a bitch.
Sagan realized one small issue. If we did encounter extraterrestrial life, how the hell were we going to talk to him? Sagan had heard of Lily and figured, hey, if this guy can figure out a way to talk to dolphins, he could probably...
Chris Rock might have been a Camacho. Eddie Murphy, maybe. Man, not Chris Rock. Eddie Murphy could have been an interesting Camacho. Eddie Murphy could have been an interesting Camacho. Not Chris Rock. Chris Rock would have been... I find Chris Rock annoying.
Figure out a way to talk to aliens.
I'm saying there's no black. And no, it's not because he's black. He just annoys me for other reasons.
So NASA and the US Navy began research funding for Lily's little dolphin experiment. In his attempts to communicate with dolphins prior to the funding from NASA and the Navy, Lily had noticed that the dolphins he was working with
go
would
away,
breach the
Twitch
surface of the
person.
water and attempt to mimic
Twitch person, go away. I'm not buying your bot.
Sounds of human speech.
Do you think I'm making enough on this stream to buy your bot, Twitch person? Go away, Twitch person.
This is noteworthy.
I hate Chris Tucker. I also hate Chris Tucker. Am I getting them confused? Which one did Rush Hour? That's Chris Tucker, right? Yes, I also hate Chris Tucker.
Worthy because in the wild, dolphins very rarely breach the surface of the water to communicate. After a few years of construction, the research center was finished and Lily began...
Which one did Donkey from Shrek? Wow, I really cannot tell them apart. That is bad. Or is it?
And his experiments, primarily...
I think that's just me.
On 3 dolphins. At this same time, a native of St. Thomas Island by the name of Margaret Howe heard about...
Chris Tucker is on the Dodgers, Ben of Okay, so it's not just me. Everybody gets on. There's just like, there's like 10 black actors that you're like, you're the same guy, right? Which one's Wayne Brady?
This top secret research facility from her brother.
Both of them suck. Okay, cool.
Apparently, who had...
Okay, good. It's like, somebody has to like them, but no, it's nobody.
No connection to the research facility whatsoever. So how he found out about the top secret dolphin facility, I don't know. But either way, she loved dolphins. So she went to the facility. She showed up at the research facility with no formal scientific training, but was like, hey guys, I like dolphins and I heard you have dolphins.
Oh, I heard about this chick. And then she was all like, the dolphins kept getting horny. So I decided to jerk off the dolphins every morning. She was like a 24-year-old chick. She didn't look too bad. And she is all like, all these dolphins are just too horny. What am I to do? Starts jerking off dolphins. Not even fucking kidding you. Not even fucking kidding you. Starts jerking off the dolphins. They loved her. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And so these dolphins are tripping on acid, getting jerked off by like hot college students. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong here?
Can I come look at them? And they said yes for whatever reason. At this facility, she met Lily, who was impressed by the gall of her to show up at a...
Is it because these dolphins are like sexually aggressive anywhere else, right? And they're doing drugs. They're smoking pufferfish and like looking for bitches and stuff. And is that... I feel like I'm getting mogged by a fucking dolphin. And like, it's not fair.
This top secret dolphin facility. They got to talking, and she expressed her fascination ever since childhood with the concept of talking animals.
Dan in hiding says all black people are the same, John. I didn't say that. That's not how you spell my name, but I didn't say that. They're not. No, they're not. There's like bigger ones and smaller ones. There's like smaller cartoonish ones, and there's like the bigger brutish ones. Like who was that in the Green Mile? Was that Chris Rock? Okay, I'm not proving my point here.
Apparently, she had a very keen eye for the behavior of the dolphins at the facility, so Lily hired her. She began...
No, it was Forrest Whitaker that was in the Green Mile. That's I'm tired, boss. I'm sorry. Racism is so easy.
Researching and recording the dolphins' behavior, but she had a request of Lily. She wanted to get closer.
It was Chris Rock, you guys. It was not Michael Clark Duncan.
In the business, we call this
Michael Clark Duncan was not in the Green Mile. You're thinking of Ghost Dog.
She wanted to spend as much time as was physically possible with the dolphins, so she had a request for Lily. She asked that the research facility itself be flooded partially with water so that she could live full-time with the dolphins. And Lily agreed. Lily was often traveling at this time, so he said, yeah, sure, whatever, you can run it. Are you ready for things to get really weird? I hope he said yes, because either way, here we go. In 1964, the Dolphinarium was completed, and Howe moved in.
It's where the dolphins get jerked off, the Dolphinarium.
With the 3 dolphins.
It was Samuel Jackson. What, in Ghost Dog?
The first floor of the facility had been flooded about waist deep full of water so that Howe...
What is that one, Leslie Jones. She was that one who got shot in the zoo in 2016. Everyone was really sad about. What movie was that? Haram, something like that.
How could live amongst the dolphins while the second story
that was a
remained
sad
dry
one.
for her.
That was a sad one.
Office. The 3 dolphins.
Apparently, she did a really good role.
She lived with were Sissy, who she described as pushy and aggressive, real boss bitch energy. Pamela, which is a hilarious name for a dolphin, who she described as shy and kind of...
She does look like a gorilla. Leslie Jones looks like a fucking gorilla. You cannot even say she doesn't look like a fucking gorilla.
Cowardly. And Peter, who was an adolescent male, who she quickly became very close to. At this point in the experiments, they had pretty much given up on the concept of humans speaking.
Who was the guy in the Lethal Weapon movies? Dan Glover? Something Glover? Is it Donald Glover?
The dolphin language, which they cutely refer to as Dolphinese, and instead focus their...
Dolphinese? Okay, fine. Dolphinese sounds good.
Efforts primarily on...
I was like, Dolphinese. Yeah, that's
teaching the dolphins to speak English.
Danny Glover.
It's America. I don't care.
Donald Glover is the notorious Gambino. Is his rap name. The guy from Community. His rap's all right. It's all right.
If you're a sea-dwelling mammal, you live here, you speak American. The process by which Howe was attempting to teach the dolphins English was very similar to the way a human mother teaches an infant to speak English. She would start by teaching them basic phonemes. Or phonemes. Phonemes? She would start by teaching them basic sounds and working her way up to full words and sentences. She also had a strict zero...
Apparently they got pretty good at saying basic words, but it was just, I don't know. It's something uncanny about a dolphin speaking English. It was like, it was kind of like a toddler. I wonder if he's probably going to play.
No tolerance policy for any dolphinese to be spoken during these English lessons. She continued these lessons for a few months, including one method where she painted the bottom half of her face white and put on black lipstick, so as to help show the dolphins the movements her mouth was making.
Oh.
Which doesn't make any sense to me. I was like, have you seen a dolphin's mouth? They don't have lips, for starters.
Yeah, but they can see yours, dickhead.
I was thinking they would use their blowhole.
I thought she was doing it for like a funny. She's like, yeah.
to mimic the sound? I don't know. Whatever. She's the dolphin lady.
Hillbilly Harry says, John, that was Cool Mo D. In Lethal Weapon? I'm gonna have to take your word for it. I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to take your word. I don't read the credits at the end. So, yeah, you're probably right.
All was well and good until Peter, the adolescent male dolphin...
This guy's a break from Trader Joe's. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. Okay, yeah.
began going through puberty. Now, I'm not your dad, so I'm not going to give you the birds and the bees speech, but with puberty in any mammal come certain urges. And old Peter, he took a liking to Howe.
And she jerked off that dolphin good. I don't know if her mouth was involved. Probably not, but you know she was into it. Come on. You know she was into it. Come on. No one asked her to do that. She just went to the science and she was all like, these dolphins are too horny. What are we going to do, Doc? Oh, man, Doc, what are we going to do? These dolphins are too horny. And then they're like, what are you fucking talking about? What are you talking about? They can't focus, Doc. What are we? I like, I'm doing a Michael J. Fox. And then, yeah, she jerked off the dolphins, dude. Why? Like, again, nobody asked you to do that. Nobody said, hey, we need you to take one for the team here and go and jerk those dolphins off. She fucking volunteered. She was all like, I think I have a plan. And then they're all like, wait, what are you doing? Hey, what are you? Whoa! Nobody stopped her, though. Whoa! It's like an old-timey one. It's one of those huge camcorders. There was. They were filming her. Everyone was a pervert.
Yeah. Peter would rub up against the inside of Howe's legs or up against her hand or her feet. Ugh. And the lessons would be interrupted because of Peter's urges. And at first, Howe would take Peter down to the two female dolphins who were waiting in a separate tank during his lessons, but
Peter, he didn't want those dolphins. And the college student was all like, he doesn't want those little bitch cunt dolphins. I can do a much better job. She got jealous. She actually got jealous.
According to her, this became too time-consuming and inconvenient.
According to her! Oh, God. Oh, my God. Go on.
So, she did something else to help relieve Peter's urges. How do I say this in a way that will allow for this video to remain monetized on YouTube? Well, merch linked in the bio below. She was jerking off the fucking dolphin. She was cranking his hog. She was spanking his monkey. She was giving him the old-fashioned under the table at IHOP. And all because it was too inconvenient.
It was just too time-consuming, right? She had to wait there and, like, watch this guy fuck a dolphin that is a dolphin. This dolphin fuck a dolphin. And she's all like, wait, no. Wait, though. Wait, though. Come on, dude. You couldn't wait 10. You couldn't grab a coffee. You couldn't grab a cup of coffee. You'd be like, yeah, it's going to take a minute. She's like, no, I'm going in. I doubt she wore gloves. She was like, I'm going barehanded. She got a manicure specifically for this. She's a nasty bitch, dude. She is a nasty whore bitch.
To move him downstairs to the other dolphins.
Goofy says, yeah, sure, too inconvenient. Okay, lady. And everybody there had the same thought. Right. Okay. So you're going to jerk off the dolphins. Every day, you're going to jerk them off. She's like, that's how dedicated I am to this project. The dolphins are doing acid and getting jerked off. Look, you could tell me that after this project, I'm going to spend the rest of my life in a bathtub-sized tank. If I was a dolphin. But like for a good couple of years there, I'm going to be dropping acid, getting jerked off by college students. I'd be like, it's a toughie. That's a toughie. That is a wow. I'm just saying I'm jealous of the dolphins. All right?
Yeah, that's a perfectly valid excuse. So yeah,
I think I'm too human though.
So. Because of the research for this video, the words dolphin penis are now in my Google search history. Thanks, Margaret Howe. So all that was going on, the research really hadn't been making too much progress, and in the meantime, our boy John Lilly had developed a new fascination. LSD. Lilly would take LSD and sit in his isolation tank for hours, during which he was fully convinced that he was communicating with the dolphins psychically.
Hillbilly says most employers like an employee that has initiative. Yes, to a degree. But like sexually assaulting, like if you were, okay, this chick works at a zoo, and then she's all like, well, I mean, these pandas need to get jerked off. What are we going to do? I'm going to the horse exhibit. And she's like, whoa. No, let her go. This is her thing. This is, we're not even paying her. I don't even think she works here. But she's like cute and she's fun and bubbly and stuff. She's a good energy, right? And then she just jerks off the horses and stuff. Okay, let her stay. It's fine, I guess. Okay.
Since he had developed this psychic connection with
she does this all over the place too. She's to this day she's doing this.
The dolphins. Obviously, the next step was to give the dolphins LSD. Huh? Obviously. And as insane as all of this sounds, check this out.
1, 2, 3.
Not bad.
Fish in
Not bad.
bucket.
I don't know what happened to Mersh. Stop asking me what happened to Mersh. I don't know. He's not coming on.
Obviously, the dolphin's not speaking English, but you can kind of hear it, though, can't you? Howe was opposed to the concept of giving the dolphins LSD, but Lilly insisted, and it was his experiment after all. Much to
remember that guy that would let horses fuck him, and it killed him? Okay, more than one guy, but yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about the smash hit documentary Zoo, and yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, and a dude let a horse fuck him in the ass. Yep, still on YouTube. And he died from internal hemorrhaging, which was completely expected from everybody. Everybody was like, yeah, that checks out. You got fucked in the ass by a horse and then you died because you got horse fucked in the ass. I mean, like, it's not science. This isn't like we're not like a medical school or anything like that, but it just seems like that would be an obvious thing to happen. Right? What about the other people that were there? And there were other people there. If you've seen the documentary, you know it's like a retreat where they go and they get fucked by horses. It's horrifying. I can't think of a better word besides horrifying. But there's got to be one. So a bunch of dudes are standing around naked. And one's getting fucked to death by a horse. I wonder what the other dudes thought. Glad I didn't go first. That's a lot of blood. Maybe we should call an ambulance. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, God.
To his annoyance, though, it didn't seem to have much effect on the dolphins. It only made them quiet, which, in an experiment to attempt to communicate with them, not exactly a wonderful result. Eventually, though, Howe did convince Lily to stop giving LSD to Peter specifically, because obviously she had a very close connection to him. The year was now 1966. Very little progress had been made,
sticks.
And Lily became more fascinated with LSD than communicating with dolphins.
I think Lily just liked doing acid. And like, fair. That's fair. It's pretty cool. If you ever hopped on, it is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty fucking awesome. But I think he was like, nah, I don't care about the dolphins. I mean, that chick's just like jerking them off. I don't even know what we're doing here, really. We're teaching him to say things and stuff and jerking them off and giving them acid and stuff. I kind of forgot what the entire plan. I don't know why somebody cut us a check for this, but it seems weird. It seems weird. And yeah, there's cameras and there's a lot of strange old men that I don't know what they're doing here. Yeah. Dude, they got a government check to give dolphins acid and jerk them off. Like, what are they doing now? Are they still pursuing this brand of science? This branch of science? Are they going down? Like, hold on. We're getting somewhere. We're gonna jerk off an anteater after this. See what happens then. We're going to give him cocaine. We're going to put cocaine in the anthill. He's going to... Writing down what happens. Anteater seems hyper yet sleepy. Very interesting.
Except for psychically in his isolation tank. He was still doing that regularly. NASA and the Navy, primarily through Dr. Sagan, would regularly check in on the experiments to see how they were doing.
What did Fauci do to
dogs? At this point in time, they weren't thrilled. The question was raised as to whether or not...
Did Fauci jerk off dogs, or did he, like, suck dog dick? I'm not going to say a word until I get an answer. All right, you broke me. I can't have dead air. You broke me. I'm going to say sucked him, right? Fauci seems like the kind of guy that would like the knot. He likes getting the knot.
It cow was actually teaching the dolphins to speak English or if they were just mimicking human speech.
He tortured dogs. By what? Like, he got nodded by dogs. I get it. Okay.
Kind of in the same way a parrot does. It's because a
Jesus
parrot
Christ,
what
stop putting things in my chat. Stop that. I don't want to hear it.
a human says doesn't necessarily imply that we're communicating with them. The lack of results in combination with Lily being an LSD-fueled loose cannon and the dolphin hand stuff caused NASA and the Navy to cut funding. Due to Lily's waning interest and the lack of funding, the experiment ended.
And that dolphin was pissed about that.
And Howe went home. Shortly after Howe's departure, Peter unalived himself. Seriously. Since dolphins are mammals that breathe air but live underwater, each
The dolphin killed himself?
breath is a conscious choice. So, on occasion, when a dolphin just isn't feeling like it anymore, they'll take their last breath, float down to the bottom of the water, and not come back. Did Peter do this because his heart was broken?
He wasn't getting acid and fucking jerked off anymore. Yeah, of course. Of course. He was like, well, I hit my peak. There's no reason to do anything else.
Maybe, but my guess would be it's because he was getting as many HJs a day as he wanted, and all the attention was being paid on him, and then that all abruptly ended. The dolphin from the TV show Flipper actually did the same thing once production on the show ended. Apparently, dolphins are attention whores. In the late 1970s, Hustler magazine found out about these experiments and published an article.
Like how they blur it, because it's a shot of her jerking off a dolphin. Okay.
Talking about the relationship between a male dolphin and a female human. Howe, understandably, was horribly embarrassed, worried that the lasting legacy she would have after all of her work would only be the fact that she was doing hand stuff to a male dolphin.
All her elbow grease.
Which, you know, fair, but also, just don't do that. Just don't do that. Don't.
No deal, she says. She says no deal.
Jerk off animals. Don't do that. You could have put him downstairs. I'm sorry it was inconvenient. But don't jerk off animals. Don't do that.
Yeah, but it would have taken like 10 minutes. You don't expect me to do that every single day.
Just don't do that.
It takes 9 minutes to jerk him off. Sometimes 15. If I want to make it slow.
Lily, throughout the remainder of his life, continued his experiments to communicate with cetaceans, since he was communicating with them psychically when he was on LSD in his isolation tank. And at one point admitted to f***ing a female dolphin. What is it with these people f***ing dolphins? I don't understand. I don't understand.
What?
So what's the takeaway? What can we learn from this? Well, first of all, don't do hand stuff to animals. And second of all, our government is so bad at spending money. Holy shit.
Now, they're really good at spending money. It's just they have to like just write shit down. Here's the thing the government does with money. They launder it. They launder almost all of it. Like 90% of it gets laundered. But they have to write something down. So they'll write down like a hammer and paid $9,000 for a hammer. A screw, that's an $800 screw. Dolphin hand jobs. We spent $1 million on that. Because it's not going there, right? It's going in people's pockets. That's what it is. It's fraud. That's where it's going. Some people say it's for black projects and stuff like that. No. I mean, maybe a little bit, but like, no. People are pilfering the system. They got their hands in the cookie jars. That's what's going on. That's all that's going on.
Holy shit. Federal agencies paid a guy to give LSD to dolphins while a woman jerked off one. Anyway, I've been King Trout, and as always, thank you for watching. Many more videos to come. I'm changing.
It's not black projects, it's just waste. It's not waste. It's not waste. Because they're not actually spending the money on the things that they write down, right? It's money laundering. They're writing down, I spent this much money getting dolphins jerked off. But really, they didn't spend $200 million jerking off dolphins. They spent maybe like, I don't know, $15 and a pack of cigarettes jerking off dolphins. All the money goes into their bank accounts, and then they go buy yachts and houses and shit like that. It's fraud. It's fraud.
Changing up my schedule, so hopefully you'll be getting.
And yes, it is. It's been like this for decades. For decades. That's why we're $40 trillion in debt. It's people been stealing from the system for decades. Huge, huge, huge amounts of money for decades. Yes.
A lot more frequently. Also, check out my merch. Follow me on
Newsom's wife launders the money big time. I believe that. Yeah.
Instagram. Not TikTok. I don't use that. X. Go to kingtroutcomedy.com. Love y'all. Bye.
Mr. King Trout. I don't want to click on your channel. I'm sorry. I don't want to click on your channel. How about 60s commercials?
Our first house nearly never got built. My wife was so bent on helping the builder.
God, she fucks it up.
Woman, I said, leave that
someone dies.
Poor man alone and make us some coffee. Not that.
Bitch! Make me some coffee! And she gives you the face, and then you fucking haul off and punch, right? And she's like, bruh, should have made Folgers. And then they're all laughing about it, and she's got like a black eye and stuff. That'll learn you.
That kind you've been buying either. Instant Maxwell House coffee. Red jar, good to the last drop. Maxwell House. The instant that tastes like coffee. Be a good little Maxwell housewife, and we'll be happy here
and
for
shut your mouth.
A long time. Maxwell House coffee. Instant and ground.
Smart woman. She's putting a new floor down by herself. Wise woman. She's using Kentile vinyl asbestos tile. Easiest flooring to install.
Asbestos, cool.
Easiest flooring to care for.
I mean, yeah, and it's like fire resistant.
Save every way with Kentile vinyl asbestos tile.
And the carcinogen. Blah, blah.
Harvey, want anything special for your birthday?
Just a decent cup of coffee.
You're kidding.
I'm serious. Honey, your coffee's undrinkable.
You dumb bitch. All right, we'll go to something else. I like how it's my
we at the National Aeronautics and Space.
My wife will not shut her mouth. She needs to. All right, this seems weird. Let's do this.
This is me on top.
What a view
of a Freefall Brunswick A2 pin setter. We were roaming the pit looking at a stroke of 1960s genius.
And you can't see it all. 32 machines, 2,000 moving parts. It's kind of hard.
These miraculous, profoundly impractical machines are going extinct. They're being
because they're expensive. They're too expensive.
Placed around the world by pins dangling
You
from
worked on these things?
Nylon cords.
Oh, government contracts.
Like cheap puppets. So why did the owners of this independent alley move this 2,000-pound machine hundreds of miles just to save it?
It was a challenge, but we did it.
I wanted to understand why anyone would fight.
But why?
To keep this 60-year-old mechanical monster, and why others would flee it. And what I found was an economic reality forcing every bowling alley to make one of the hardest choices in the history of bowling.
You see the mural behind us, the theme that we just repainted was based on the beach.
So this is Dan, the owner of Central.
Okay, we're going to do this. That's what we're going to do. The most disgusting water park ever. Good. That'll do. That'll do. that'll get me to midnight.
Have always fascinated me. Between their often liminal appearances and their complex engineering, I've always enjoyed talking about these places. Now, I live in Connecticut.
They are pretty gross.
And up until the new Great Wolf Lodge opened last
looks badass though.
year, we didn't have any indoor water parks. Actually, we used to. Over a decade ago, there did
I'm trying. I only have to go another half an hour and I'll raid Virgie because I don't want you guys to be left alone to your own devices because I know you guys are degenerates and stuff. And I talked about jerking off dolphins a lot tonight. And I don't want you guys to be like, hey, let's break into the aquarium.
Used to be one in water.
Hey, let's break into the aquarium, jerk off some dolphins, see what happens.
Go key. I remember
Dan.
remember hearing about this place as a teenager, but wasn't interested in visiting due to its
7 tabs were made illegal where I live this week. Where do you live?
lack of thrill rides. I also heard about how dirty.
Why am I not covering the Dabbleverse? I don't know. Because I don't know what it is. I don't know what the Dabbleverse is. I have no idea what it is. I can't, that's it. I don't know at all what it is. That's why.
It was, but what I didn't know was that this park was just one location in a chain.
Don't come to my house.
That used to operate across the
Bring your booze, but don't come here.
Midwestern and Northeast.
Just throw it over the fence. I'll get it.
Western United States. As it turned out, what I heard about the park being dirty was only the.
Okay, Dan Snow says the Dabbleverse is fucking gay. It was a joke, John. I don't get it. I don't know what the Dabbleverse is. I don't know what it is. I think it's a collection of people that talk about each other, which sounds fucking gay. It sounds lame, but I don't know what it is. I mean, like, I'm not aware of anybody. I don't know who's in it. I don't know what they talk about.
The iceberg. And the deeper I went down the Cocoa Key rabbit hole.
RFK is making 7 tabs. Schedule 1. They're making Kratom. Schedule 1. I did Kratom for a while. I did it for a long time. And at one point I was like, I need to stop doing this shit. And when I stopped doing this shit, I was like, oh, I'm fucking addicted to this. And then I had like, I was like cold sweating and shit. It was kind of a rough week, but I mean, I did it. I cold turkeyed it. It wasn't, but I was doing it every day, man. I was doing, yeah.
The more terrifying things got. But what exactly was so horrifying?
Not the powder. Like, is there some sort of like form where it's like pure shit? Yeah, good. Yeah. I've never tried a 7 tap. I don't know what it is. I imagine it's just the 7 mitragynine stuff, which is powerful stuff. I mean, like, you take one, or so I've heard. I've never taken them, but like, I've done Kratom. I've done plenty of Kratom. You do those little Kratom shots, and you're like, yeah, this feels nice, good. But then I got addicted to them. I'm like, I gotta stop doing these. It was like a problem. It was a problem. It was a problem. I had to stop.
About a place that just seemed like a standard children's water park. Let's dive into the disgusting history of the Cocoa Key chain right here on Theme Park Crazy.
Cocoa Key. I went to a place just like the island. Every day is a perfect getaway. There's lots of fun. Just come with me to discover the world of Cocoa Key. Family fun for everyone. Yeah. Cocoa Key. Water resort. Cocoa Key.
I like it. I like the song. Oh.
In 2006, the Cocoa Key Water Resorts chain made its debut. This was during the height of the mid-2000s real estate boom and the U.S. housing bubble. The resorts were developed through a partnership with Wisconsin-based Wave Development and Denver-based Sage Hospitality, as well as other collaborators. Though the U.S. already had the popular Great Wolf themselves,
it's just a diarrhea park.
Immersive theme.
It's a place where you get poop.
The rooms were bland and unexciting because they were meant for business travelers, not family vacationers. And it's not like tired business travelers want children.
As soon as they can make it, schedule 1 is on the 5th, but it may be pushed back. I mean, people still get it. I mean, it's not going to be that. Well, like, if RFK makes it, that'll be a federal ban, right? I mean, it's probably. Look, I don't like outlawing drugs. I don't think you should outlaw drugs, but like, it's just like, I can see how those are a problem. I can see how that's an issue. I don't think you should be a drug addict, but I think you should, if you want to be, you should have the freedom to be a drug addict. You shouldn't be a drug addict, But if you want, if you're an American, you should have the right to be a drug addict. You shouldn't, but you do have that right.
Children running up and down the halls while they're...
But like, yeah, I could see it. I mean, that's an issue. That's because you just go to the gas station, you get these like fucking heroin pills. And then you're like, okay, my day's set. And you're good. And then like you have like what are it called? Withdrawals and shit. That's rough.
Trying to sleep. In summary, operating both a business hotel and a water park while also paying for franchise branding created extremely high operational costs. The water parks themselves received criticism for being overly value engineered. Guests generally viewed them as less impressive experiences than competing indoor water parks. Many of the hotels had already been underperforming before the water parks were added, and low weekday occupancy made the whole thing seem like a pretty crappy idea. When the recession hit, these weaknesses became impossible to ignore. Sage Hospitality ultimately exited the...
Just gonna go back to... So, what, you do Kratom? You do Kratom? Because I had a thing where I did Kratom a lot. But you're just gonna go back to powder. It's gonna make it hard to shit. You're gonna be stopped up.
Indoor water park business altogether, auctioning 11 of its Cocoa Key properties to various owners at astonishingly low prices. This included 2 hotels that were connected to the same water park in Sharonville, Ohio. The Arlington Heights location sold for just $7.7 million, which worked out to less than $18,000 per room. This does sound like a lot, but around the same time, Sage sold a JW Marriott, which didn't have an indoor water park.
Yeah, that's a JW Marriott. It's much nicer.
For about $370,000 a room, which, unless you live in another dimension, is way more than $18,000.
Oh, okay.
The new
That's a JW Marriott. JW Marriotts are always in nice places.
Ohio location sold for just $5 million, despite being recently appraised at $36 million just months earlier. The dramatic discounts led In-Park magazine to conclude that, in many cases, adding the water parks actually decreased the value of the properties.
Well, you have to manage a water park, which is a pain in the ass. That's a pain in the ass to manage. Managing a pool is a pain in the ass. You know how much it costs to like keep a pool going? I do.
For the most part, the properties were sold off to independent LLCs and private owners. It was honestly pretty hard to keep track of them. Despite the properties changing hands though, the Cocoa Key brand itself survived. But regardless of who owned each property, they all went to hell, at least according to their average review.
Oh, those are not good reviews.
One could easily argue that the real estate companies that bought these properties at a discount did not have the funds necessary to run an indoor water park.
No, they don't want the water park. They want the real estate. They want the land. They're not interested in the water park. Water parks are gross.
This discount chain of indoor water parks would have severe health concerns over the years. These health issues first got attention in 2008 before the sell-off even took place. According to an article from the Boston Herald, the Massachusetts Department of Public Health...
All right, we're going to do boats now. I'm just running out the clock, really. That's how much I'm putting into this. But I wanted you guys to be... Because I'm going to send you straight on to Virgie. Here, I'm going to queue up Virgie. I'm going to make sure Virgie's still awake. Or is awake. Initially. I'm going to make sure he is awake initially. Virgie. Alright. He's not awake yet. He doesn't have anything going yet.
Welcome, everyone.
I wonder what's going to happen. What is this called? Idiots in boats caught on camera. I wonder what's going to happen. Quick, blow your horn. Quick. Quick, blow the horn. That is a several $1 million mistake. Okay, that's suicide.
Big ships don't stop like cars, which is exactly why you should never do this.
What are you doing, bud? Dude, what a retard. This looks fun. I would do this. I would do this. This looks fun. Yeah! Hell yeah! That's pretty sick. That guy was not an idiot. He did the math. He was like, this will work. That's pretty cool. I would do that.
Nice. Michael!
Oh, you're fat.
Grandma! She's so...
Whoa! Whoa, whoa! Oh, I thought that was like a lion that was gonna... Yeah, I don't know if that's how it's supposed to work.
He's definitely feeling that later.
He pulled it off.
On today's episode,
I'll give it to him. He pulled it off.
And that's up. And
They had to wait for it to run out of gas before retrieving it.
Oh, that's why you always put the pull tab thinger in there. That's why you put the pull tab thinger in there. All right, we're just jumping around. I don't stay up. I don't stay up this late.
Soulless, lifeless.
I'll sub to this guy.
Excellent. Some of the few words used to describe the look in my eyes as I advanced through my 30s, unmarried and childless, and also some of the words used to describe the most despised form of architecture on the planet. Brutalism. They look like prisons, feel like prisons, and sometimes are literally, actually prisons. I'm King Trout,
Okay.
and you'll take whatever slop I throw in your trough, so here this is. Join me today as we
He's like me. I'm just throwing stuff at you. I don't have a plan. I didn't work this out.
discuss the history of symbology.
And I'm sure the word you were looking for was symbolism.
Symbolism, yes.
Symbolism there.
It's a Boondock Saints reference. Great flick. It's about
Yeah, it was a great movie, but way too many people made that shit their personality, which was so fucking gay.
25 years old. Older than most of you, probably. Willem Dafoe. Nails it. And future of brutalist architecture. We'll tear it down brick by brick.
You don't stay up past 11, but you're in California. I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida town. So it's late here. It's 11:42. I got 18 minutes left. If I speak real slowly, I'll have 17 minutes left. If I speak real slow like, I'll have 17 minutes left. I didn't do it.
Get it?
I wasn't going to do this. I was going to hop off at 10. I was going to hop off at 10, but then I got recruited. They brought me in. They're all like, John, we need you for one last job. I'm like, I don't do that no more. I don't do that kind of work anymore. I just chop wood on my farm. They're like, you're the only one that can do it. I'm like, You say kids, huh? That's right. They act like kids. You people, you act like children.
What is architecture? Well, Merriam-Webster defines architecture as the design of how you be building shit and stuff.
Pretty good.
Probably. We all
Close
know what
enough.
architecture
That's close enough. You got it, bro.
is. What is brutalism, though?
I am too old for this shit. I'm too old for this shit, dude. I'm too old for this shit. Now I'm picking up slack. Picking up slack for a guy that doesn't even like me. I wonder if he still hates me. Like, he was real mad. Oh, well. It's like, sorry. I didn't do anything. I don't think I did anything wrong. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
Where did it start?
But don't worry. I got it, bro. I got it. I got it.
Now, to vastly oversimplify an incredibly complicated and convoluted story related to design history, brutalism came from what was called the modernist movement. Modernism came about primarily.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. Modernism sucks too. Modernism is gross. We should go back to the Victorian era where like all the street lights were like ornate statues and shit. But we can't. Because it's not how it works anymore.
Primarily at the turn.
Everyone's got to do things as cheap as possible and make it because everyone's got to make money forever. They used to make stuff that would last. Yeah, I made this street lamp and it's meant to last, well, until the end of time. But now it has like a lifespan. Well, we'll be back in 5 years to put in another one. It'll cost you 10 times as much.
Of the 20th century in response to a couple of not so great things which had happened. The big one being a war you might have heard of, World War.
Never heard of any World War.
One. Some of the people who had witnessed the atrocities man was capable of thought that, maybe in this...
John's the Lethal Weapon black guy. Nice. Oh. Can I be the other one? Can I be the Gibson? Can I be the anti-Semitic Gibson one?
Modern secular world. Man-made horrors beyond our own comprehension. Maybe we don't even deserve beauty.
No, I want to be the anti-Semite. Come on. I don't want to be the black guy.
Which, okay.
And if I'm going to be a black guy, I'm going to be Samuel Jackson. That's not... So I can say, motherfucker, a lot. More than I do. More than I do now. Motherfucker.
Lame art nerd thing to think. Of course we deserve beauty. We're human. You're a human being too, you stupid idiot. Whatever. The modernists stripped design down to its basic principles. Shape, form, color. They removed any unnecessary ornamentation.
Well, no, here, I've said this before. They're trying to make the world ugly. Everything, this includes people too. They're trying to make the cities ugly, art ugly. The women, they are making ugly. They're doing a bang up job on that. They're making them fat and gross and mouthy. And then they show you like pretty ones on the internet and then you're like pissed about it. They're doing this to you on purpose. This is all a game. They're doing it on purpose to fuck up your shit. They're feeding off your negative emotions, your negative energy. You know what you should do? Is you should just get off right now, stop watching my show, and go stand outside and like look at the moon. And then no, I'll be looking at the same moon, thinking about you.
One of the pioneers.
I'm kidding. Don't get off my stream.
Of this modernist architecture movement.
Sit down.
Was a Swiss Frenchman.
I would be a good substitute teacher, as in I wouldn't show up, and if I did show up, I'd be hung over.
By the name of Le Corbusier. He was obsessed with pure geometric forms, much like a toddler, and the industrial processes which allowed for the production of concrete, steel, and glass in ways that had never been possible before. He also believed that buildings should not serve any purpose in regards to providing beauty. He saw...
Okay, asshole. Why would you think that, asshole? Why would you be such an asshole, asshole? Why wouldn't you want to make something beautiful? Why wouldn't you want to add beauty to the world? You're all like, yo, I'm going to build this shit. It's going to be ugly as fuck, dude. That is fire. Look at that gray block over there. That shit is fire. I'd be like, get away from me.
Buildings as parts of a machine. He envisioned and designed...
Oh, Hillbilly says, I'm on the porch and I can see the moon from here. Hold on. I can't.
In cities of the future, wherein each building served as a cell, a cog functioning in the high...
Yeah, a comment. Yeah, he wanted to make... Oh, God, it looks like shit.
Higher purpose of the machine. In his...
See, they try to take all the good times and just smash them. There used to be good times in this country, but they're like, no, fuck that. Boomers again. This is boomers. This is a boomer issue.
Designs, each of these cells, were entirely utilitarian and egalitarian related to their specific purpose, including homes. And since he saw every building as a machine serving a function, they were entirely utilitarian. No unnecessary frills. and they were all identical.
Autistic.
Now, I personally don't care for the guy.
Okay, maybe he was autistic. Let him, let him fucking chill.
I disagree with every concept he has related to design, and if you look into his personal life, he was kind of a giant piece of shit.
Really?
But if ants spoke French, I bet they would love him. Remember earlier when I mentioned World War I? Well, they called it World War I because there was a World War II. Long story short, some things in Europe got blowed up. After the war, millions...
You want wood panels back? You want wood panels and popcorn ceilings and fucking, like, hollow doors and stuff? You need to move to the Midwest and get nicotine-stained fans and stuff that never stop spinning.
Because we're homeless.
It sounds like a nightmare. It sounds like a nightmare.
At least they weren't dead. So after the war, the French government approached our boy Le Corbusier because he was, a highfalutin, artsy-fartsy architect, and they're all 10 feet up each other's asses, so...
At least,
he got selected to build a community housing project. So he stepped up to the plate and designed l'unité d'habitation.
Is Virgie gonna be streaming tonight? Is he gonna be streaming tonight? Because I don't know if Virgie's going to be streaming tonight. Because it says his last live was 4 days ago. Is he good? Is he okay?
God, I hate French. In Marseille.
Do I have to, like, keep streaming for the next 2 days? Until Virgie comes back? Or somebody comes back?
And he designed it in his typical fashion.
Virgie is still alive, I would assume.
A giant soulless...
I think.
Concrete cube devoid...
I mean, like, we hear from him from time to time.
...of any beauty that exists only to serve a functional purpose.
No one really knows when he does? No one knows when he streams? Okay.
That function...
Great. Awesome. Let me... How many... He's got 2,000 followers. 2.7... I fucking stream every fucking... Okay, whatever.
Housing human beings. How egalitarian. In his original design for the Looney Toony escargot, or whatever the hell it's called, the exterior was supposed to be made of a smooth white concrete. But Home Skillet hired 80 different contractors to work on the building.
Good job. Good thinking. Good. Yeah, because... You know what's better than working with one contractor that's impossible to fucking contact and get to work and shit like that? 80 of them. 80 fucking contractors. 80 contractors being like, yeah, I'll come in whenever. You know how hard it is to get a contractor to fucking do something? It's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Get your ass...
Since he clearly does not understand how human beings work, there was some mild miscommunication. The multiple concrete contractors working on the building made an oopsie-poopsie. As someone who has worked on construction sites, this does not surprise me. I have never met a concrete guy who had an IQ higher than that of a sea anemone. They let the concrete cure in its entirety in the wooden forms before removing them, so instead of having the smooth texture it was supposed to on the outside, it had the rough wooden texture of the forms that they had poured it into.
Great.
Now, old Bug Boy saw this and kind of freaked out and responded, "Leave it raw," which, yeah. Coming back around on old Ant-Man.
I don't get it.
Also a big fan of...
I don't get it. I don't get the reference.
Of doing it raw.
Okay, continue.
My mom watches these. I'm sorry, Mom.
Why? My mom would never dare watch these. I'm sure she would be appalled. I'm sure... I think they know this is what I do. But even that, I'm not even sure. They're very No.
Also, I'm leaving this hat on for the rest of the video. I was getting a little bit self-conscious about the way that my hair looks, and I'm incredibly vain. Leave me a comment below